Hello? Test? All right. We are working. Sorry, my stream deck's not working for some reason though. I don't know why it's happening, but oh my god, y'all. We are 5-0. Like this is honestly probably the game that's going to flip me. I am honestly completely shocked with how well the Bulls are able to be closing games, but that first half, bro, that first half was beautiful. Like this Knicks team is looking for wins right now because they've had some bad losses. And you come out and absolutely punch them in the mouth in that second quarter, man. It was not like, not the best start to this game, but I don't think it was a slow start to this game, which is great to see from this Bulls squad because we've had some slow starts. And you had one of the most beautiful halves of basketball that I think I've seen in a long time from a Bulls squad. That was beautiful. Not just because the Bulls were playing good on offense, right? Like 72 points in the first half. Like I think we all can agree that's amazing. But that half of defense, man, that was the half that was like, okay, like you proved everything to me that you against this Knicks squad with formidable players on this team, an all-star in Jalen Brunson. Many people have him in MVP conversations, and Karl-Anthony Towns has just wrecked us for many years for some reason. And you were able to hold this Knicks squad to only 53 points in that half. You limited the three-point shots that like they got wide open. They still made a decent amount, but you're able to limit the amount of open looks they got. You only committed 7 fouls in that first half, right? And you were doing the thing that I was most concerned about, which is you limited the points in the paint tonight in that first half. The Knicks had 14 points in the paint in that first half. And the biggest reason why I've been calling for this is because of a game exactly like this, right? The three-point shooting for the Knicks was off the charts tonight, 18 of 45, and that's with some misses at the end, right? The Knicks were hitting their threes. And so why was I so worried about points in the paint is because there's going to be games like this where you're going to be, like, you might play great defense, but it just doesn't matter. There's too many good three-point shooters in this league, and the threes are going to start going down, and you need to make sure your paint defense is in a good enough spot so that, you know, if the threes are going down, you're also not just giving up layups. And lo and behold tonight, man, the Bulls did exactly that. And they were able to limit this Knicks squad to only, I believe it was 38. It might have been more after that. Some Brunson. No, it's 38. Okay. 38 points in the paint. The Bulls came in tonight giving up 63 points in the paint per game. You did everything that you needed to do to win this one. And it was a phenomenal first half, along with some work through in that second half, but because of your defense in that first half, you were able to get this game. And I honestly, this is probably like in the longest time ever. I am like super proud to see this Bulls squad playing this way, this well, and proud to actually be a Bulls fan. Like this, it's been such a long time since I think I've said something like this, where I think the Bulls did everything that they needed to do tonight. And not only that, man, like I think tonight felt probably the most confident I've been in a long time. Like even when we had DeRozan, where down the stretch of this game, I felt like, no, I think the Bulls should be able to get this one. They were doing everything right to this Knicks squad, where they're forcing bad shots from them or perimeter looks from them, and they are protecting this paint much better. Because if we weren't protecting the paint, I don't feel too great. But they were doing everything right to make this team have to shoot more on the perimeter and contest those shots on the perimeter. Everything was right in this game in terms of the defensive effort, besides some fouling that third. So great job, man. This is it. I think officially now, where I'm putting this team, like, all right, it's official. You better be making the playoffs this season. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you're not making this playoff, like the Bulls make the playoffs now, oh my god, I'd be like just absolutely devastated at this point. So I'm expecting playoff basketball to be back in Chicago, man. This was awesome to watch. You beat this New York Knicks squad like really, really effectively tonight. That first half was everything, but you did enough though in that second half to get this win, and all the praise to you. Like the Bulls won that fourth quarter at the end. So everything about this one is incredible tonight. Props to these guys. I'm truly shocked, but I am definitely not mad. Like this is awesome. I think this is honestly probably the most, like, for in terms of when I'm looking at a win, right? I'm looking at this as like, I don't know what else really I could be saying tonight besides just maybe not so many fouls in the third quarter, but that's just me being like, we're kind of be iffy there, right? Like, I've been talking about some of these wins where I'm concerned about the Bulls' points in the paint, and there's certain aspects where I'm just like, I'm concerned, man. Like, there's definitely some moments throughout this game where I feel like if, some threes just kind of go down for the other team, like, all right, it's, the game kind of flips. This game, though, because the Bulls were protecting the paint, it felt so much better. Like, even the Knicks went and hit a three. I'm like, all right, well, all right, move on. Next play, because we're doing a good job of preventing these easy looks throughout the night, and well, it was enough. It's it didn't end up being the best second half defensively, but that first half was beautiful, man. I can't say it. I just can't say how much I am just genuinely impressed by this squad. So Donovan, man, I am very much impressed with what he's done. I think he did a great job with the rotations tonight. Made some pretty important calls that we'll give to him. Josh Giddey had a career high tonight and was playing phenomenal basketball from Giddey. And absolutely deserves all the praise in the world right now. He has completely proven me wrong when it comes to his three-point shot, man. Like, that three-point shot is going down early. And it has definitely been huge. Like, that first half was like, that was definitely all-star Giddey in that first half. That was phenomenal from him. He had 2 pull-up threes, which has been something that I've been talking about, and I'm like, all right, like, this is what we need, man. That three-point shot is everything we've talked about with Giddey. Like, it had to come from him, and he's doing it. I would assume it continues just to be awesome, bro. I hope he's all right. I definitely think he took a knee to the quad, but I mean, 22 points tonight, 8 of 10 from the field, 9 assists, just phenomenal defense on Jalen Brunson throughout the game to pick up full court and just wear him out. He is probably the 3rd best player tonight for the Bulls, and it was a phenomenal performance again from Ayo Dosunmu. And Nikola Vucevic, I was gonna give it to Dosunmu as the 2nd best player of the game, but Nikola Vucevic, man, that 4th quarter was awesome from him. He cooked Cat. He was getting positioning on Mitchell Robinson to get some paint looks, and he was just making the right plays all around. So I am thoroughly impressed with everything that this Bulls squad is doing, and they deserve all this praise, man. I am honestly just so happy to see that this Bulls squad is playing this well, and it's continued. And man, we gotta keep this going. We got the Knicks again. I won't lie that next Knicks game is going to be tough, but I have a lot more confidence now heading into that game, thinking, oh, we're gonna put up a great fight. Because this was a true test tonight, at least in my opinion. This Knicks squad's tough, and I know they've had some losses that are kind of head scratching, but this is a tough Knicks squad. Eastern Conference Finals last season. I know Tibbs is gone, but it is what it is. But they did everything that the Bulls did everything they needed to do tonight. So shout out to everybody. I am super impressed. We got some film to break down. We're gonna keep it simple though tonight with the film because of copyright. But I have some film I do want to break down with you guys tonight. So stick around for all the film stuff and all the talk when it comes to this Bull squad. If you have not hit the like button on the stream, please do. Helps me out a lot. Let's get into this amazing performance. I think this is truly, I think, the Bulls' best performance this season, and that's saying something, right? I think the Bulls have had some impressive wins this season already, but to do this in this sort of fashion, the way that this game went, was truly like, oh, this looks like playoff caliber squad from this Bull squad. Incredible. Amazing throughout this game, man. I'm honestly I'm so impressed from everybody, from top to bottom. Going on, Razi. First quarter, 57 seconds left. Hilo shake and bake was the best move ever. Bro, Patrick Williams had a drive tonight, and it ended in an and one instead of him turning it over or missing a layup. It's incredible. Yeah, definitely, I think was maybe the only good drive from him tonight, but we'll take it. That little shake and bake and one for Patrick Williams in the first quarter was awesome. It was like, oh my god, he drove and got an and one. He didn't drive and turn it over. Like that's been all right. And this is honestly just like, I think we just have to just keep him on the bench at this point. And I think that's fine. If we're gonna get this sort of effort from him every night, and hey, if he's making some, driving layups, which was always a struggle for him for some reason, hey, keep him on the bench and just let him just stay there. He's played well, man. I give him a lot of props. And I think honestly, something that we're gonna talk about a little bit is Pat's been doing pretty good at screening this season. That's something that I've been asking for with Pat, that it's not, it's him taking a three-point shot is always huge, and then, fighting for the boards or just being a better defender, but he's actually taking it a next level up in terms of his screening efficiency this season. And And we're seeing the Bulls sometimes use him as a screener, especially in that second unit where maybe Jalen Smith isn't used as much as a screener. And he's done a pretty decent job. It's definitely something that we were maybe hoping to see earlier in his career, but it's finally starting to show a little bit more. And I hope it continues. So shout out to him for doing some of the hustle stuff or the dirty work that we've been asking for him. And it's not, always just going to be rebounding or just fighting over screens or stuff like that. Purple, some great diagonal cuts first half, yeah, including one from Patrick. He got a great pass from P. Will as well. So yeah, it's that second unit, man. I mean, you could argue the Bulls already have like the best second unit right now in the league. Like it's been that impressive so far this season. Giddey always seems to get his best stat lines versus the Knicks. Hey man, with the Knicks being this good, we'll take these amazing games. Madison Square Garden's next. He's last season he had some pretty good performances there, I believe, at the end of the season. Maybe it was just one, but yeah, we'll take these performances, man. Like this is incredible from Giddey tonight. Giddey also worked on some things clearly where like he was very much more adamant of trying to get to the basket tonight, where instead of him taking the floater shot as much. And it's definitely going to be helpful in his half court offense, which we saw was on full display tonight, man. Going on Calvin, GG's, yeah, GG's, man. It's funny to see this, bro, because Knicks fans were talking hella shit before this game. And I was getting a little bit annoyed from some Bulls fans because some Bulls fans were like, after halftime, were like, oh my god, like you guys are gonna lose by 40 tonight. I'm like, oh, don't say that. Like this Knicks squad is too good to lose by 40. Like let's not say that, man. Like don't say that and then somehow we end up losing this game. And thank God we won it. But yeah, I was like, oh god, Knicks fans, like I don't think you should be talking much right now, because the Knicks have had some losses that like that Milwaukee Bucks loss, I think was honestly that was pretty bad from them. And we got to watch that on NBC. So yeah, I don't think the Knicks should be saying anything right now. They're off to a rough start. 2-3 is not a good start for them. Really enjoyed Trey's first half on Dion Brunson for those minutes, but the two crossovers Brunson pulled in when Trey was off the Bulls were so fast. I mean, as always, Brunson's going to be incredible, right? But I think Trey Jones, Okoro for a little bit, it wasn't that much, but Ayo Dosunmu, and even Herter at moments, they did a great job on Brunson tonight. He's going to get his points. We know he's going to get his points, but they wore him out clearly, and it was really effective, especially from Ayo to pick him up full court, to just kind of slow him down, getting up, bringing the basketball up. And with that lineup out there with the double big to start the game, it was kind of messing up the offense a little bit. So great job, man. It's like everything from like those little things from like we're seeing the Bulls picking up full court against Brunson, to again, like you protected the paint so well tonight. Like I can't explain how happy I was to see the Bulls fighting over screens so well tonight, and they were switching on point. Like there was no miscommunication really, especially in that first half. Like it was beautiful. And that's gonna be the way you're gonna win these games consistently, right? I really just don't think that you giving up the most points in the paint per game is gonna be a consistent way to win these games. But this is the way you win these games, is if you're gonna be able to protect the paint like this, then you're winning these games then. Like I think you're gonna be in every game then if you're able to protect the paint like this. So they showed it tonight. Like I've been questioning it throughout these first 4 games, and I think rightfully so. They were the worst team in terms of protecting the paint, but they showed every ability to stop these drives like against this New York Knicks squad. So I think honestly this probably like Cat had like a good game, but it wasn't like Cat performance that we're used to seeing, and the Bulls did everything, man. It was just great. So yeah, I'm truly impressed. Notice Giddey's using more diagonal backboard shots successfully tonight. Right, we need more of that. The little floater shot, like I think it's a good last resort, but yeah, this is definitely better for him in the half court, is if he can find ways to use his size to get some of these angles off to finish over either some shot blockers or some smaller defenders. Yeah, I mean, he was honestly just doing so well on his drives tonight, which is great to see from Giddey. Because there was definitely, I don't know how many people were here until like late into last stream, but we were talking about how the numbers for Giddey to start this season, like he's gotten to 20 points per game and almost like, or he's around 20 points per game, right? Which is what I needed. I want him to be around there. But the thing was that his half court offense wasn't like the best at the moment. Like the numbers were like kind of like, we're like, oh god, like we didn't realize his pick and roll like game wasn't the best, but his transition game was like amazing. which and his free throws. So to see this is like against this Knicks squad is awesome. So I'm loving this Giddey. Like if we could get this Giddey from here on out, like this is awesome Giddey. This is all-star, absolute all-star level Giddey at this point. Off-ball movement slowing, definitely saw a drop off in the second half from Bulls. It was definitely dropping off, but I also think that part of it was the Bulls kind of fouling and their defensive effort kind of gave way a little bit in that second half, which then kind of slowed down their offensive tempo. So I do think that's that's part of it. But I do agree that even maybe when I thought the Bulls had some transition opportunities, like I thought the Bulls could have passed it a little bit better. But either way though, it's like you showing me that first half gave me a lot more hope for this team. So I'm happy overall with this first half, and I'm not as critical of this game, right? Like I know a lot of people come in and just be like, yep, always can depend on a pessimistic take from Duncan. But to me, this game feels a lot better compared to like the Pistons game where like the Bulls got up early, right? But then the Pistons came back late, and the Knicks did the same thing here where the Bulls got up early and the Knicks came back. But I feel a lot better about this one because of the paint defense. I know teams are gonna hit threes in this league. It's just gonna happen. But to see this team come in and give this sort of paint level of effort defensively is awesome.
5-0 party popper emoji confetti.
Carlos, thank you so much for the $5 Australian. 5-0, man. I sincerely appreciate the donation. Thank you so much for supporting the stream. Thank you so much for that. I'm so sorry. I'm getting to all of chat. I do apologize. I'm slow though. I want to read every message here. Buzelis seems to get beat off crosses a lot. Wasn't the best game from him, but it was a bad matchup. So I think Buzelis has put in some weird spots tonight. I do agree though that the perimeter defense from Buzelis has not been that great so far to start the season. That definitely needs to get better. He's been kind of getting beats from some of the smaller guys. He just seems not aware. But the biggest thing is that for some reason, when it comes to drives this season, like he's coming down with his hands and he's getting called for those fouls. Unfortunately, that's just going to happen. So he needs to find a way to stay vertical. But yeah, it wasn't the best game from him tonight. We saw some cool stuff from him, like the lot from Giddey and everything. And he hit some threes tonight that I think were pretty key. Or maybe it was just one. Maybe it was just that 1-3 that was key. But yeah, I'm hoping for better from him, as we obviously just saw what he did against the Kings, which he just absolutely torched everybody. But I'm definitely hoping for better from him because I do think the Bulls are going to need him more down the stretch for sure. Yeah, he has to play better. I do think, especially defensively. There's definitely some moments defensively he needs to kind of work on some stuff. But hey, man, wait, I understand, and this is the reason why I wasn't as high with my expectations for him. Like, it's year 2, so he has time, man. I'll give it such a start in that first step. Absolutely, he was everything. From pull-up threes to rebounding to just pushing tempo, he was everything in that first half, man. It was honestly insane to see like the box score. Like, it wasn't like that incredible for him, but like he was everything in that first half. Like the bench did really good, but like it was Giddey in that first half. Io as well, but like it was those two that were just running this Knicks team to the ground, honestly. Felt Ali comfortable Giddey taking the catch and shoot threes this game, so it must be setting into subconscious mindset that he gets those enough. Bro, I think honestly right now, Giddey's been like the best catch and shoot player on this squad so far to start the season. Like, I know Trey Jones's stats right now are like through the roof when it comes to his catch and shoot threes. I personally as much as I want to believe in Trey Jones as he's going to continue at like an insane rate, I don't have much faith in that. But right now, I think Giddey is probably the best catch and shoot 3-point shooter right now in the squad. And that's a humongous thing overall, because like I did not think with Giddey he was ever going to get to this point with his 3-point shooting. Like, I genuinely did not think about like this was ever going to happen. I was worried about the slow release. I was worried about his overall kind of mindset with it. But he has turned a corner, absolutely, it seems like. I don't know how long this sort of level is going to be continuing, because he's shooting like, I think at one point throughout this game he was like basically 50% from the season. So like even the best shooters ever are never going to shoot like that moving forward. But he very clearly is so much more confident. And I am loving this to see this from Giddey, because this allows him to like when it comes to like this sort of all eats offense, like that 3-point shooting is critical in this sort of offense, and to have everybody be able to shoot threes on this squad at any given moment is humongous. And you saw how much the defense was scared of him in later in the game, that they were like, oh god, he's gonna shoot a 3. Like they were going out to him, which then allowed him to get some of these driving angles that he wouldn't get. So this is huge. If he's going to continue like this, bro, which honestly, I have more faith in this catch and shoot right now than a lot of these other players right now on this team. And that's an incredible just thing for him just to get to for me, because I'm like, oh God, like this is something that I've been kind of questioning throughout his time. Is just like I can see him working on the 3-point shot, but that catch and shoot has to always be there. And like we can't go through like streaks, but from the end of last season into this season, like it's been incredible from him. So I've loved everything, man, from the 3-point shooting for Giddey. Like this needs to continue. Just the confidence overall. Again, he's not going to shoot like 50% from here on out, but if we can have him in the 40%, especially on catch and shoot threes, like, oh man, that's a humongous development. And Giddey deserves every bit of praise if that is what's going to happen. What's going on, Tyler? Yeah. Also, big thing is people can't say we win unless teams don't shoot well. And we won in spite of the Knicks shooting 40% from three. Well, as I said earlier, the reason why we won is because of the paint defense, right? So, like, this is the reason why I've been harping on this, because I know at some point that and it happened tonight, and it's gonna happen against other squads. There's too many 3-point shooting teams in this league, okay? And teams can just like, even you can do your best whatever, but like teams are gonna find a way to jack up threes. Like the Boston Celtics are gonna find a way no matter what to give 43s and to shoot 43s a night. Like it's just gonna happen. Like you could do anything in your willpower to try to stop it, but they're gonna still shoot 43s a night. And so the paint defense though is something that I truly think can get better, and it's something that I think that you can control a little bit more and prevent like these role players, for example, like Westbrook against the Kings, just getting easy layups, right? That's the biggest thing to me, is that you're preventing those sort of guys from just getting some simple buckets. That's what you can do better, and the Bulls did all that tonight. We saw how much the Knicks had to rely on Brunson Cat, OG Anunoby, and Mikal Bridges from 3-point range, right? That's what I want to see more. Because if they're hitting their threes, then so be it. But if you're protecting the paint, which I think that you can do like better overall, and I understand you're not going to be amazing, but you cannot be giving up 60 plus points in the paint per game every game. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to win that way. But to do this tonight, going up only 38, like, so much better. I feel a lot better about this team now. So yeah, Knicks have no rim protection. They have Mitchell Robinson, but he's obviously, he's not very, he's not in my game shape right now. He's just got back. So, but yeah, well, just Cat, and then like Gershon Yabusele's playing the center position for them, which that's no rim protection. Yeah, it was honestly, it was really good by the Bulls to just attack those guys throughout the night. Yeah, first half was good, both ends for sure. Yeah, I agree. Both ends, man, beautiful in that first half. Beautiful from both ends. Just the way everything the Bulls were doing it was just perfect. Incredible. I'll score the whole bench by himself. That's insane, honestly. I did not know that. Did the Knicks only have like 13 bench points tonight? that's actually kind of wild if that is the case. Let's see. They had 21. Wow. So Io legitimately outscored the Knicks bench by himself tonight. That's incredible. Dasuma's off to an insane start, man. This is just insane from him. Wait till Kobe Collins get back trained. I had to get off the bench being nuts. I mean, my only concern about like just the bench is like, all right, are we gonna be taking guys a little bit out too quickly? But I mean, ideally, yeah. Like first and foremost, as good as Trey Jones has been to start the season, I do think he's a bench player. Like I think he is more effective coming off the bench. But yeah, I want to make sure those guys get their minutes, and in theory, like that should be a really formidable bench, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing that bench all together at some point this season. That'd be huge. Giddey just 1 assist shy of a 30-point triple-double. I wish he got it, but happy with the win. I mean, yeah, I'll take 30 plus points from Giddey any day before even like a triple-double from Giddey. But to almost get there is insane from him. The biggest thing for me, no turnovers from him tonight. Like it's just this is the Giddey I wanted to see, and I've asked for it, and he's proving it right now. It's perfect, man. This is the Giddey we need, and it's I have to just keep saying, like, it's I am very much aware of his rebounding and his assisting, but he has to score, and he's done that with his 3-point shooting and his ability to drive to the basket and transition throughout and getting to the free throw line. It's been key through these Bulls wins. So keep shooting. Like the fact that Giddey took 21 shots tonight is awesome to me. Like I know some people don't love that, but like for me, I'm like, oh, I love this. Like, shoot more. You're hitting all your threes, shoot it, shoot more. Look, like as long as the Knicks are not gonna, stop your drive because for some reason they don't know what to do against it. And like we said earlier, no rim protection from them. Keep driving because you're putting so much pressure on these guys that they're just forced to foul you, or it's gonna open up someone else. Like that's the idiot I want, right? And he's doing it so far to start the season, which is awesome. I did do the Knicks win on Sunday because it's back-to-back matchup. I am unfortunately in that sort of scenario, not necessarily because it is back-to-back matchup, but it's because it's on the road. The Bulls have done really well at home so far to start the season. It's been incredible to see how well the Bulls have played at home. We got our one road win against the Magic, but I am like very much like right now with the Magic. I don't know how to feel about them. Like they honestly look horrible. So with that being the case, I do think that this is going to be much tougher. And part of it is probably going to be the back-to-back matchup, but I also think that just because it's on the road, it's going to be tougher. So huge test again, but like I said, I said this at the end of last stream, I just wanted to see if the Bulls could get one of these games, and you already succeeded at that. So if you drop this next one, but you give a good fight and you're in it, like I'm cool with it. But to see them get this win now and do that in this fashion, incredible. So if you end up dropping that next game, it's so what? Like I'm not again, don't get blown out. Like that's all I'm asking for. But I'm just asking for good effort because very clearly with this squad, like you should be seeing good effort every night. As long as this depth is still here and like no one else on the bench is gonna get injured at this point, like there should be good effort every single night, at least in my opinion. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Even Smith had a solid game. I think Jalen Smith had a much better game, obviously, compared to some of his previous ones. So yeah, shout out to him. I mean, he had a major block on McBride in that fourth quarter. Just again, better effort from him. I did said hope they don't put Trey and Ayo off the bench together. Trey needs to be besides Giddey for minutes on if he moves to the bench, and Ayo should be way to besides Kobe. It's gonna be interesting to see. I think Okoro is gonna be starting, but very clearly right now, Donovan is very willing to not play Okoro that many minutes, which I'm happy about. So like he might be starting the game, but like it doesn't really matter, honestly. He's definitely not closing the games right now. So it might have to just be Okoro starts, but then Trey Jones needs to come in immediately, honestly, off the bench. So I do agree with you there. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I personally would try I would try the whole Trey Jones, Giddey, Kobe starting lineup. I would try it. But if it's not gonna be that, then like Okoro needs to come out immediately, pretty much. Like he'll start the game. We'll get some defensive possessions out of him, which like give him credit for some defense. Like he's had some good defensive moments. I'm gonna give him that. But yeah, I'm more than willing just to bring him out like after 4 minutes, honestly. I hope he can figure it out more because offensively it'd be nice if he could hit a corner 3-point shot here and there, but it's been tough to start the season for him, and I understand that. But if that is the case, then hey, at least our depth is here, right? At least we have our depth to try to figure out other lineups if he's not necessarily performing to his best capability on offense, which honestly I don't know how much better he's gonna get. But yeah, I mean, we'll take some good defensive possessions to start, and then we gotta make some changes, which is fine. And I correct me if I'm wrong. I think Okoro did check in like the fourth quarter tonight, but maybe I saw him at the scorers table, but maybe he didn't come back in. So I don't know honestly what the exact game plan is for him moving forward, but yeah, I'm interested whenever Kobe does come back, which we'll talk about Kobe's injury a little bit later, honestly. Who moves back to the bench when Kobe comes back? It's the idea would be Okoro, right? So then you would start Giddey, Kobe, and Trey Jones. But if it's not that, then it's just gonna be you put Trey Jones on the bench again, and he's gonna come in early. So I was covering up the offense, coming up the defense when the offense started to stutter. I mean, DeSumo's drives this season have been otherworldly. It's been insane to see him just get to the bucket at will. Continues to be extremely efficient. I mean, DeSumo's numbers coming into this game were already like really impressive, and he just added on to that with his efficiency and lack of turnovers. So I've loved everything from DeSumo, man. This has been awesome to see him come back from his shoulder surgery and everything, and he honestly looks better. So Ayo had two humongous buckets one at the end of the first quarter, one at the end of the third quarter. Like he just flew down the floor and just was like, all right, yep, I'm just gonna go and lay this one up and in because you can't stop me in drives. So you're seeing how much his wingspan affects the ability to, you know, the shot blocker's ability to not get his shot. And it's been great. It's been honestly amazing. I love that Vucevic is moving cleanly off ball towards the basket in games like this. Yeah, he's sealing his man if he has a mismatch, right? This is just better overall movement from Vucevic throughout the game. Yeah. According to bench if Kobe has to start unless the matchup is too tall, in which case you'll trade a bench. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm interested to see what's gonna happen. We'll talk about it when it does happen because I know Kobe is gonna be getting reevaluated soon. But yeah, we'll talk about when it does happen and maybe to play around with some ideas. I have some thoughts on this Kobe stuff before he gets reevaluated. Doug, I'm so proud of this team. You can see Billy's coaching is paying off. I'm also super proud, man. Like this is honestly just like a really like proud moment to be a Bulls fan, to see this team playing this way, and to continue to buy into this everybody eats. But then also tonight, and I can't stress this enough, but the Bulls had a guy tonight, right? And like I know that some people might not be on this sort of train, but to me, like I love all this, you know, ball movement and everything, but I still think the Bulls need a guy, and Giddey was the guy tonight, right? Like that to me gives me so much more faith with this team moving forward, that hey, they have a guy, right, as well as with this great ball movement and everybody's eating, right? But we saw when you needed some plays made tonight. Like there was definitely some moments in that second half where the offense started to sputter, and you saw when it's like, okay, we need a play from somebody, okay? And it was to Giddey, but also to Vucevic, also down the stretch here where, you know, Vucevic is playing like an all-star to start the season. Like you need that still, and that's where it feels a lot better moving forward, where I'm like, hey, yeah, like we have some guys here that understand that how to work a possession effectively in certain moments, especially if it's like a late clock situation and we need to figure out how to get a shot up. So moving forward, it's gonna be something that I think it's gonna be important to look at, whether it is like maybe Buzelis takes that reign, or if Kobe can take that reign if he comes back, or can Giddey keep the scoring up, right? Like that's gonna be important to look at. But to see someone like Giddey step up tonight is humongous for the team moving forward. So I'm loving what I'm seeing so far. Yeah, that's gonna be something that we gotta keep in mind. Let's see. I'm so sorry. I scrolled and my chat messed up. I hate that, but it takes the defense off the floor. Okoro's really not playing that many minutes anyway, so like I don't think it'd be that important, but I can understand the argument at the end of the day. He'll also fighting over screens. Oh yeah. I think everyone's honestly, like in this specific game, I think everyone did a great job fighting over screens tonight. Like it wasn't just like a singular person, it was everybody, and especially Patrick Williams. Like I have a play to show you where Patrick, he fought over a screen when he's guarding Jordan Clarkson, who has a speed advantage over him. Like he did phenomenal. Like that's what we need. And Pat's been great to start the season overall guarding guys. So yeah, I'll take Kobe out after 5-6 minutes. That's disrespect to Kobe. Well, the idea is either what Charles is saying is Kobe's gonna come back, be on a minutes restriction, or Kobe's gonna come back and they're gonna have to have him be you know, like he'll be like kind of like a secondary, like part of the second unit. Like they'll stagger his minutes more. With like if Giddey's gonna stay in, then they'll take Kobe out early, and then Kobe will come back in later. So it's not like he's only gonna be playing, you know, 5 minutes in the first quarter only, but it's just gonna be like staggering the minutes. So we'll see. Whenever Kobe comes up, I honestly hope the chemistry isn't shifted too rapidly with his return. It is gonna be interesting to see. I won't lie. We're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see how it's gonna work out. Kobe has a big, you know, he has a big year ahead of him here because it is a contract year. So it's gonna be very important for him to come back and play well within this team, but also get his own. So it's gonna be important to see what type of Kobe we're gonna be seeing. I hope he's made some improvements, whether it's from his ball handling to his finishing to his 3-point shooting. I don't know what it's gonna be, but I hope to see some improvements from him. And we gotta see Kobe increase that 3-point percentage, like he said at the beginning of the season. So it'll be tough. Is there pessimistic seeing the light? The only reason why I'm seeing the light is because of again the way that the Bulls won tonight, right? Like I didn't see much light because of the previous games where the Bulls are giving up so many points in the paint. Like it's just again, like that's just not sustainable. We can't win those games like we're not going to be continuously winning games if we're giving up 60 plus points in the paint. It's just not going to be happening. But tonight, 38 points in the paint given up tonight. The defense was much better throughout this game, especially in that first half. Like this is the reason why I'm seeing the light today. So if we're gonna be pissed off at my previous takes, you can be upset, but I'm giving my reason why. So I think I have a right to be not as high on those other wins, honestly. But this win, though, oh, absolutely, this is a true like playoff caliber win in my opinion. So I'm loving what I'm seeing. Or the last 15-20 games of the last year with Kobe, he's not going to screw up the chemistry. Well, I highly doubt it. I mean, he shouldn't. Like in theory, he should be very helpful, right? In theory, Kobe should be extremely helpful for this. God, we're dropping frames. Hello? Am I back? Hi, am I back? Holy crap. I dropped 700 frames in about 3 seconds. Wow. Okay. Hope we're back. Can we give a thumbs up if we're back? I think we're back though. We're back? Okay, good. Sorry, I looked over and I see 700 frames dropped and no bitrate. I was like, what? Okay, cool. We're good. Thank you. So yeah, again, it's just like some players just don't work out for whatever reason. I think Kobe should come in and be like in like perfect spot in this offense. Like I honestly don't see a reason why Kobe can't succeed in this offense and work well with the rest of the team. But we'll see. It's gonna have to be proven, right? Yeah. This is more the Bulls playing well, the Knicks playing poorly. Right. I mean, like, it to me, that Kings game, for example, like that first half, like I know the Bulls got back into it in that first half, but the Kings had 42 points in the paint in that first half. Like that was more so like, hey, the Bulls weren't playing well in that first half at all, right? And the Kings were heavily taking advantage, and then the Kings started to really play bad. At the end of the second quarter, I was just like, okay, well, again, credit to the Bulls, but it's just like we can't like to understand how bad like the defense was in that Kings game in that first half. Like the Kings had more points in the paint in that first half than the Knicks had this entire game, right? Like that's the reason why I'm like I like there's these moments throughout this game where I'm like, this is so much better than these previous games. That's why I feel so much better about this win tonight. Like it is such a big difference to me seeing how the Bulls won tonight compared to maybe how the Bulls like won in that Pistons game, where it was almost very similar. So like this was a humongous victory to me, not just because of it's the Knicks, but it's because of how well the Bulls played on both ends. Like everything about the way the Bulls win this game tonight, this feels more sustainable to me. Okay, because again, I think teams are gonna hit threes. It's just gonna happen. The Knicks had 18 threes tonight, and the Bulls won because their paint defense was better, right? If the Knicks hit 18 threes tonight, and the Bulls also give up 60 points in the paint, right? You're not winning this game. It's very difficult to win that game unless you're also doing that on the other end of the floor on offense. Okay, so this is much better, and you've proven to me tonight that I was like, hey, I don't know if you can find ways to protect the paint, but this was a great job tonight. And it's everybody. It's not just like the starting lineup is like doing a good job. Honestly, I think they've struggled the most. It's the bench specifically with those guys, like, you know, guys like Patrick Williams, like Kevin Huerter has been really solid to start the season defensively. I was picking up full court. Like those are very key moments to see, and to not let some of these guys get some easier points. Okay, because you know bad switching could lead to a layup for anybody. Okay, that's what we need to prevent. And we prevented those looks tonight. The Knicks, they were making some shots, bro. Like OG Anunoby hit those 2 threes in the corner, and I thought the Bulls honestly did a pretty good job contesting some of those. Like Mikal Bridges also had one, but it required an insane Brunson playmaking moment to then get that shot in the corner, and then they had to make it over some contested hands. Like, give them credit. But I'll take it, right? Like I'll take the defense, and if they make it, so be it. But preventing paint points is always going to be important, because that's always what the defense is always first. And the Bulls were just giving up at too high of a rate to start the season. So major shift tonight with how the defense looked. Even with all the fouling in the second half, like I'll take honestly the fouls compared to just giving up a layup, and that was good to see. For Booz, I think partly the others got the right players switched onto them to exploit, i.e. Cat or Brunson through OG, and Bridges stuck to Booz fairly well in his minutes, I felt. So, I mean, there's maybe a little bit of that aspect, but I think Buzelis also kind of missed some opportunities. Like, he had a missed layup, but, you know, it is what it is. There's definitely, you know, being guarded by OG is tough. Like, I won't lie. I didn't know that was a little bit tough for him. But yeah, I think I'm more so concerned about his defense, honestly, of just like some of the perimeter guys he's having to guard. Like he got blown by Shamit today. Like, I get it in a little bit of a sense because like he was helping on Brunson, but then Shamit got to step on him when he tried to close back out to him. But it's just like the whole point about Buzelis is just that like you might not have the foot speed, but you have the length to kind of recover, and he's coming down, right? Like his hands are coming down. Like we don't want that from him. So that's kind of where I'm just a little bit concerned on his defensive level right now. But again, it's reason why I keep saying it's second season, because it's like he's still young, he's still learning. And I have faith that he'll be doing better moving forward. So it wasn't worth going to that match given the other options. I agree. Yeah. Like I don't like very much so like you need to be attacking whoever's guarding Giddey tonight and using Vucevic, which they did, and then obviously Io did his job. So I think the Bulls honestly did a good job of who they decided to attack tonight. Yeah, they did good. Mata's development is probably gonna be key for the Bulls this season. I agree. I think it's humongous. Like not just key. I think it's humongous. I think Buzelis' development is humongous. But I'm definitely seeing some struggle moments. But I'm not too concerned. Like it's still early in his second season. Because like I know like you know people thought like oh my god all-star, but you know there's a reason why I said 14 points per game. So it's just gonna take some time with him to understand. You know if I have a tough defender on me, then how do I get my points? Free throw line. You know gotta hit the threes, etc. Find ways to break him down one-on-one, pick and roll opportunities, and not you know just being able just to drive past them with your left. But also defensively, I'm seeing definitely where he needs to work on some things. So, that's okay though. Like, I think honestly that it's completely fine if he's finding some failures early in the season, and he's gonna find ways to figure it out because he figured it out last season, right? He had some failures early to not necessarily get in a rotation early in the start of the season, and he was able to figure it out and find ways to you know start at the end of the season. So, I have faith he'll figure it out. It's definitely though for me like the perimeter defense in some moments needs to get better. That's kind of my biggest concern at this moment in time. You know, 50% from three for Giddey definitely not going to sustain. It's not going to sustain, but if it's gonna be high 30s percentages on the attempts that he's taking right now, which honestly I don't even know. I have to look at his attempts. But I think it's at least I thought it was 4+, but maybe I'm wrong. Or it's gonna be in the 40s, right? Like that's very good. Like we can't complain, and it's gonna completely change how the defense looks at him, and it's gonna open up his driving lanes and get him more fouls. Like that's why it's so key. But to see the confidence that he has right now, like you know that cross court, like I don't know if it was from DeSuma or Trey Jones, but like the cross court pass where he just shot the three really quickly, like that's great. We need more of that. So I'm very happy with what I've seen from him. My biggest faith is maybe Vooch for catch and shoot threes to hit and boost and not hit, but always take the opportunity for them, which is good. Yeah. Either way, Buzelis needs to shoot them. He's not off to a great start overall from 3-point range to start the season, but shoot them, please. Vooch has been very good. The Bulls have had some nice plays to get him some open looks at the top of the key, so good job. Oh, I can predict the washing machine drives by getting Ivan Giddey sometimes. Yeah, there's definitely some moments with him where I'm like, I'm so concerned he's gonna turn it over when he drives, but he's finding ways. Like if he's gonna be able to find ways like this, man, like I can't complain. I'm interested honestly because like let me just show you what I was looking at earlier, and you know Viper Strike did kind of say like, this might just be kind of wishy-washy like numbers of just like it's early, it's just noise, but. I wasn't aware of this. This was not me. This was just what was brought to my attention early on in the season. But like, this is what I was looking at. Like, this is pick and roll, okay? And you know, if you want to argue what NBA.com classifies as pick and roll, you know, it is what it is. But like, coming into tonight, Giddey was shooting 19% on pick and roll plays, and he was getting 10 possessions a game on it. So like, it was just like something concerning with me. I was just like, oh, like, okay, like he's either way, he was still getting his points, which was like what I was more concerned about. But it was just concerning just to see this, because I'm like, okay, that really means that like the 3-point shot's really going down, and his transition play has been phenomenal. And if you look, like, yeah, coming into tonight, his transition game is like, it's been one of the best in the league. Let's see here in terms of possessions. So yeah, like Giddey in transition has been phenomenal. He's 69% shooting. Like it's been amazing just to watch him in transition. But then also the free throw line has been humongous for him, which is a great development. But I was just thinking to myself, like, okay, he needs to find a way to, though, like, if there's gonna be a slower game, like, I know the Bulls are all about pushing tempo right now, but there's gonna be some game where it's gonna be slower, and he's gonna have to find a way to get these points in the half court. And tonight was a big showing of it, honestly. He did a lot better in terms of being a pick and roll ball handler tonight and finding ways to finish over guys, and not resorting as much to the floater. But the other thing that Giddey's done a good job this season that I don't think many people have talked about was, like, his off-ball movement has been so much better. Understanding when to play baseline, when to cut, and then also just go and look for a finish. Like, he even had a layup earlier in the game where, like, he missed it, but it was off a cut. But I'm like, hey, like, I'll take it. Like, you need to see him find those sort of opportunities is humongous, especially with that 3-point shot going down this early, right? So that's where he truly is, like, kind of like, he's changed my opinion of him as like an over, like, oh, he's not going to be a detrimental player if he's off ball. Like, defense is not just going to sag off of him constantly anymore, because his 3-point shooting's now gotten to the point where defense has to respect it. But to also then be a threat just to cut and find ways to finish at the rim with those cuts, like, that's where it's going to be humongous for him. And he's done a good job to start the season. So I'm happy overall with what he's done. 6 important minutes off the bench. He did, man. Yeah. Center play has definitely been, iffy with him off the bench, but it's been good this game. So I'm happy with Sticks. To see him, like, setting screens and fighting for a position down low against a mismatch was great. And then, again, huge block, man, in that fourth quarter was humongous. I think that Billy rotation seems to be working in the Trey, Giddey alternating. The Trey off, then Giddey off till the end of the quarter, then Giddey starts the second for 2 minutes till off. Yeah, I've overall liked it. I'm interested in seeing what Kobe's role will be in all that when he does come back, but I overall like the fact that you're having at least one of Giddey or Trey Jones out there, because I definitely think that those two guys are doing the best in terms of pushing the tempo right now. So keep one of them out there to push tempo. They're doing the best so far, and also Io, but I do think Io's definitely more of a I'm looking to go score. So not always having him have to look to push tempo is good. So yeah, keep one of those two out there just to push the tempo is great. Io's explosiveness and ability to finish that layup at the rim is so impressive. It is truly impressive. Like, his finishing numbers have always impressed me throughout his career, but like he's off to an insane start this season. So I'm honestly, I've been like, damn, like, I guess Io should have gotten the shoulder surgery earlier or something, because he looks so much better. He looks insanely good right now. It's early, but like, the 3-point shot looks good, the defense is looking good, and I mean, again, I hope he's all right, because he definitely took something to his quad. But yeah, it's been awesome. Are we this good? I thought we were getting Cam Boozer this year, bro. Look, man, I honestly probably am not the best person to come to right now, because I said that this team was going to be not the best. So yeah, I'm just as shocked as you are, Noel. But yeah, it's been a truly great overall team effort. We're seeing I think tonight finally broke the different leading score every game, with now Giddey having 2 games of leading scoring. But it's really been just a team effort of, we're passing it great, ball movement is good, we're driving the most per game, and guys are making enough plays with each other, right, to get the points. And we see games like this where we explode for 135, but even in some of these other games where it's lower scoring, like the Magic game, like, we score enough to win those games. Defensively, it's definitely been a roller coaster. I'm still, like, some of those games earlier in the season, I don't think we're the best defensively from this Bull squad, but they've done enough defensively to win these games. The transition play has very clearly gotten them some extra points, and that's exactly what we need to see. The defense, though, has definitely been inconsistent. This, though, tonight, with that first half defensively, it was phenomenal in that first half. So I think this is a true playoff caliber win that we saw tonight from this Bull squad. Yeah, it's been a whole combination of it all. The bench has been phenomenal this season. Like, guys like Io have been just consistently amazing, and Patrick Williams stepping up has just been good. But yeah, Giddey has been off to a great start. It's been kind of iffy for some like guys like Buzelis, but we're still in development with him. So I'm overall I'm really pleased, and yeah, man, we got some tough matchups coming up here. So I'm not expecting a win every game from here on out, because like this is like a great start to the season. But we gotta find ways to stay in games. And right now the Bulls are doing just that. And so I'm liking that we're fighting even when like we get down by like 10, like in that Atlanta Hawks game, and we find a way to fight back, which is great. So we have minutes restriction. He come back at like 9 minutes in the first. Yeah, we're not gonna do that. When Kobe comes back, he's definitely gonna be like, if he's in the starting lineup, which I think he will be, he'll get 4-minute spurts or something like that. So it'll be interesting. I'll give that Kobe and Giddey out of the mesh end of last season. I think Trey probably helped gel that too at times. Trey was huge. It was definitely interesting to watch, because I do think there's some moments where they didn't exactly fully mesh, and it was just kind of like one was like taking over and the other kind of just had to like kind of just chill out for a little bit. But they did really mesh well at the end of the year. Unfortunately, the playing game was not great, but like in theory it should be good. But we're gonna have to see. Like, it just as always, like I said, like I know some people are, all in on like a 20 game like showing of somebody. Unfortunately, I'm just not with that. So like to see Giddey start the season like this now, it makes me feel way more confident in him moving forward now. And like I have a lot more confidence in Giddey, like that the end of last season was legit. And it wasn't just some nice stretch, because unfortunately we have seen this before, where there have been players where it just like they go off for some good games in a row, and get some player of the week mentions, and it's like, okay, like we want to see this moving forward, and they go away. So to see Giddey start the season this well is like, okay, that to me now tells like last season was legit. Now with Kobe, unfortunately, he is one of these guys, right? Like Kobe has just in his career, it's just been like a month of like he looks really good, and then there's a month where he shoots under 40% from the field. So Kobe is going to be interesting to watch. Like in theory, he should be coming in and fitting in the squad, even if his 3-point shot's not going down. Just his dribble penetration should really help this team. But yeah, we have to see it, right? Like part of the reason why maybe it looked so good at the end of the season was just like Kobe was hitting everything in sight. Like things look like they mesh well if someone's just shooting ridiculous from 3-point range, and it seems like they can't miss. So it is something just to think about. I think again, Kobe should come back and be fine. But we will see at the end of the day. Giddey, Vooch, Io finishing in the fourth has been so impressive. I get hyped imagining having Giddey, Kobe, Io, Vooch, and Montes in the end of the game in the fourth. It's definitely a lineup I would probably be running out there, honestly, once everyone's back. Because unfortunately, I just don't trust Okoro. Herder is also an option, but I think Io this season has been phenomenal in the fourth, so I would definitely keep him out there as long as I can. Though the current style is different, a rapid shift just might not work. Ease Kobe and don't risk injury for his trade value. No, I agree. So just to kind of understand where we're at when it comes to Kobe, okay? So he's going to get reevaluated soon here. Which again does not mean that he's coming back by any means. He just is going to get a reevaluation. So my gut feeling, and I don't have inside info. For some reason, some people think I have inside info. All of a sudden now, I've gotten some messages, and I'm like, I don't have inside info. I just make guesses off of what I have been like either looking at or researching, or just kind of understanding how the league looks at things right now. Calf injuries are scary. And with the way the league has been going with calf injuries, like, it's something that it just cannot be ignored. And if there's any little bit of like, hey, this doesn't feel 100%, it's like you're getting shut down. So I don't know what to really expect, but I'm expecting Kobe to not be anywhere close to returning, honestly. And what I mean by that is that, like, don't expect them to return next week, okay? If he needs another 2 weeks, like, that's obviously not that far out, but, like, you know, the thought that, oh, he might be back in 2 weeks, like, I don't think we should be thinking that at all. I think that, honestly, we should be planning as if Kobe's gonna be out at least another week, at bare minimum, and probably longer. Because, like, I know we haven't gotten too much of an update about what he's been doing, but I can't imagine that, like, he's been doing, like, that much, because, like, he needs a reevaluation before he actually goes out and does some more intensive work. So I don't know what it is with calf injuries, but it just seems like these just take forever to heal. I feel like we've been saying this usually about hamstring injuries, but now all of a sudden it seems like it's the calf injuries. It's just been such an issue. But I am concerned that he's gonna feel like some sort of tightness or something when he does start to, like, free up his workout, and I already know they're gonna probably shut him down. So that's just something I'm just a little bit concerned about with Kobe. So my mindset right now with Kobe is that he's gonna be out for a while. Calf injuries are just no joke. And with Kobe, especially because it's a contract year, him tearing his Achilles is, like, the worst possible thing, not just for him, but for the team. So this needs to be definitely, you know, worked with precaution here. And if Kobe, like, if in his reevaluation is still feeling anything, okay, then it's gonna be, you're probably gonna have to, you know, you're probably be taking it easy for another 2 weeks here, which is fine. I think that's honestly okay. So I'm looking forward to seeing what will happen here with Kobe. I'm trying to be optimistic when it comes to this whole calf thing, but it just seems like the calf can just linger. So take it with as much precaution as necessary. Get him 100% right before we need to start thinking about him, you know, picking the ball back up and taking contact. We for sure should be very, very, very cautious with him, and he needs to also just be as cautious with himself to not try to push something that he's not ready for. Because again, if this is truly leading to these Achilles tears, which it truly looks like it is right now, like, we don't need an Achilles tear right now. So yeah. Good on Super Slab Bros. I appreciate the comments and everything. I've been seeing your comments. I haven't responded, but I appreciate it. I know you're watching. But yeah, it's been a hype start to the season, man. Not too shocked that Giddey isn't good for pick and roll, but that's particularly bad. Giddey definitely off-ball cuts, more use. Yeah. So, like, if you're wondering about last season, okay, like, this is where Giddey was last season in terms of pick and roll work. Sorry, it's so, like, I'm not expecting, like, anything, like, amazing, but, like, this was him last season, okay? So, like, I expect him to at least get to this number, and I think after tonight he might be around here. We'll see. But I mean, like, he got, like, a decent amount of opportunities to do it, right? Like, he actually had a decent amount of pick and roll opportunities, and it, like, this isn't, like, great, but, like, it's serviceable in a sense. It's a lot of room for improvement, though, unfortunately. Now, this is where, again, like, just to talk about where we're at in terms of him this season, like, this is where he was coming into tonight. Like, 19% on pick and roll was just like, okay, like, again, I was not aware of this until this was brought to my attention on Twitter. So, like, this is not me, like, just, like, looking for bad stats for Giddey. This is just, like, something was brought to my attention on Twitter. I was just like, oh, like, okay. Trey Jones, like, this person was talking about, like, Trey Jones has, like, been one of the best in pick and roll. So, like, it was just, like, they were talking about, like, the dichotomy of these two guys. So, like, this just shows, like, okay, Giddey's done really well in transition, and in half court, he needs some improvement. Now, tonight, I think he did a good job. I think he did a good job with the pick and roll. He was finding ways to score in the pick and roll. And I think he honestly did a good job at finishing at the rim. So, like, I expect these numbers to go up after tonight. But it is just something just to, you know, keep in mind that, the way the Bulls are kind of set up, like, it's going to be, if transition opportunity, we give it to Giddey, right? He's going to be the one pushing tempo and looking to get the ball downhill. But when it comes to half court, right, like, it's not that much of a shock to me that in that Pistons game, that the ball's in Trey Jones' hands, because the Bulls are going to look to run some pick and roll opportunities, and he's just been, so far to start the season, he's just been better in that role. That is not a way of me of trying to discredit Giddey. That's just a way of just pointing out like, hey, these are just some numbers that are interesting just to look at. And we should not be just taking away Trey Jones's opportunities because like he's been very good. So yeah, it is just to keep in mind, I guess. But I want to see Giddey improve. But if he doesn't, right, then his 3-point shooting becoming this good is the reason why this is not as big of an issue. That's why the 3-point shooting was so important, was because if this is not going to get better because of a lack of pull-up game, right, which he hit 2 pull-up threes tonight, but if that's not going to like come around for him, then he needs to shoot the 3 ball effectively, and he's done that. So it puts Giddey in a lot better spot as an overall player and his value, and also completely changes how I look at him as an overall like good player off ball. And that's fine because the Bulls are going to have many guys this season running pick and rolls because we're setting the most screens per game. So we're going to be seeing moments where Giddey's going to not going to have the ball in his hands because someone else is running pick and roll because that's the offense, right? And so it's not like everything right now is through Giddey of like he's the only guy running pick and roll at this moment in time. So yeah. I'm hoping for improvement, but if we don't get it, then it's okay. I'm happy with this 3-point shooting at the end of the day. For sure, I was better as a transition scorer than temple pusher there. I agree. Yeah. Has anyone been seeing Ryan Rollins this year? I had no expectations he'd be doing this, bro. Ryan Rollins has been incredible the last 2 games, and he's had a solid overall start to the season. But the last 2 games, bro, against the Knicks and the Warriors, he's been incredible. Big reason why the Bucks are where they're at. Did not expect the Bucks to be this good to start the season, but they're kind of like where the Bulls are, of just like, yeah, we're playing team basketball. We have Giannis, obviously, and he's been MVP caliber, but like they're also kind of doing exactly what the Bulls have kind of done. You know, solid overall team defense. They're shooting threes at a good rate. Everyone's kind of just, you know, like coming along and chipping in. They have a ton of shooters though on that squad. Like AJ Green is like shooting like 59% to start the season from 3-point range or something like that. It's something insane. Taurean Prince is just an insane 3-point shooter right now. Gary Trent Jr. as well. Like they just have all these guys that they surround Giannis with all these shooters, like Miles Turner as well. Like he's another shooter, but Ryan Rollins has come in and basically he's kind of given the Lillard overall impact without like shooting as many shots somehow in these last 2 games. So he's been not just good offensively, but he's also been pretty solid defensively. He's a very big overall guard at 6'3", even though he's like 6'3", but he's a 6'10" wingspan. Like he's been incredible. So he's been great to start the season, and this is with Kevin Porter Jr. out for the Bucks. So yeah, shout out Doc. You know, I honestly did not think we'd be coming into this season saying this, but like shout out to Billy Donovan and Doc Rivers. Like they've done an insane job to start the season with their squads. And I mean, I think honestly Doc's done incredible with Giannis as well. Like Giannis is not playing that many minutes. He's only averaging 33 minutes per game. And he's putting up 37 points per game on 70% shooting in 33 minutes per game. So it's not like Doc is like playing Giannis to the ground early this season. Like it's been legitimately a team effort. And I've been truly impressed, honestly. So, I mean, I know we talked about this a little bit. I know Viper Strike has brought this up, but like, I mean, we might honestly be seeing the shift where I do think that you still probably need a guy like Giannis in that sort of system. Like, for example, with the Bulls had Kevin Durant, I think it would really help right now. But it truly does look like that instead of it being like, okay, you need a first option that's like a, you know, or first option and then like a second option that's also like pretty ball dominant in a sense. And like also probably like a third option that's also like that can maybe find a way to score 20. Like it's instead it is truly looking like we need to find good quality players around our stars that can also find ways to go and score and make good decisions. And so it might honestly just be like you just need one superstar and then surround them with great pieces, because that's what the Bucks are doing right now and it's working really well. The Knicks on the other hand have like 2 kind of, you know, guys that need to get their stuff, and you know, Anunoby and Bridges are also like, you know, they should be kind of looking to score, but their bench is not that great. So it is interesting, man. It might honestly be the shift that we've been kind of talking about. And I mean, the Pacers did it last season, but like the Pacers still had Halliburton and Siakam. Like everyone else chipped in. The Neesmiths, the Matherins, and the Nemhards of the world were very important in those games. So yeah, we might honestly be seeing this shift where we're not talking about this team as being like teams being as top heavy to like win, but having good quality players around these guys. It's still early to start the season, and I do think it is important just to keep in mind that like we do have to like I'm not here, just to be clear, I'm not here sitting here the Bulls are saying the Bulls are contenders. Like I'm not there yet in terms of where I see this Bull squad, and hence why I do have to say it is still early in a sense. However, what has been shown to me though is that this Bulls depth is much better than I thought it was. And to see this Bulls depth being completely much better than a lot of other teams who I thought had more depth but is not as good, and they're relying a little bit more on their star players right now, like it is an interesting thing to look at right now. Yeah. Next two games are very winnable. Bucks, I'm a little less confident on having a way to shut down Giannis, even if limiting him is really all it is to win that. Yeah. Especially with Rollins playing the way he is. Like, Rollins has just been insane. Like, I don't know if that's going to continue for him. Like, he's basically been, like, one of the best pick and roll ball handlers in the league to start the season. So, like, I don't know if that's going to continue. But, he's very clearly been an effective player. Like, he's made good decisions. He's finishing in the interior. He's playing good defense. Like, having a guard that's, like, as dynamic as that, like, he might not be scoring, 20 points per game every single game, but having a dynamic guard that can affect both ends of the floor, like, it's honestly something to look at, That is a huge wingspan. It is truly a huge wingspan. I feel like it matches that Giddey's a bad pick and roll offensively and defensively without being able to navigate a screen. Maybe. It's to me, the reason why Giddey's not the best in terms of the pick and roll on offense as a ball handler is just because, like, there's a couple reasons. One is just like he'll slow down a little bit when he doesn't have the pull-up game to like kind of get defense off balance. And he'll slow down to try to find a way to like, try to bully his way into the paint. The other reason is his pull-up. Like, he doesn't have a consistent pull-up jump shot. But the other thing that I am starting to notice is that teams are a little bit more willing to switch with him on the pick and roll because he's probably being guarded by someone that's bigger, right? He's not being guarded like a 6'3" guy. So, if you're switching your center onto a 6'8" guy, right? Then it's kind of like, and the center then they're putting a 6'8" guy like on their center, right? It's not that much of, it's not like a major shift, in terms of the floor balance defensively. So that's part of the reason. So it's not like really his fault in a sense. Hence why the pull-up game is probably needed. But again, if he's not gonna ever get this, then I'm not too concerned. Like, the 3-point shot has been super valuable that I'm like, all right, forget this then. Like, just you go be in transition and get your fouls and everything and score in transition and hit your threes. You're an extremely effective player at that point. Yeah. Doc will always find a way to fail in postseason by not making any in-game adjustments. I'm expecting that, but either way, though, to see the Bucks start this well is impressive to me. So, hey, you're a guy from Miami has been crazy from 3-2. I think Pacheco or some shit like that. Is it Pacheco? I have not watched many Miami games, so forgive me. I know Davion Mitchell had an insane start to the season. I know Khalil Ware has been a little bit disappointing. Oh my god, the Lakers came back. I'm gonna watch this game after this after the stream. I cannot believe the Lakers came back and won this one. Oh, it's Foncheco. Yeah, Simone Foncheco. Yeah, he's been really good. This has been awesome to look at. Let's see, what's he shooting to start the season? He's shooting 59% from 3 to start the season. That's awesome. Miami had a complete rework of their offense, and they're doing well. Their threes are definitely going down. So to see Miami without Tyler Hero start this well is definitely something I'm taking notice. I think the league is depth and defense weighted these past years a shift for sure. OKC is super deep as an example. Yeah, OKC's depth just continues to get better just because, like, Now you have AJ Mitchell just like coming in when, you know, they didn't have Jalen. They don't have Jalen Williams. Chet is also missed like a game or two, but like Caruso's missed games. Like they've had guys miss games, and yet like AJ Mitchell just comes in and it's just like, yep, I'm like the second scorer now on this OKC squad. It's just like, what? I don't get it. But yeah, OKC is set for forever with their depth because they could just do whatever they want. Yeah, every good team needs its perimeter defender, at least one. Oh, for sure. Going on, Delbert. Let's go. Yeah, man. Hell of a start, man. Best start since the, what, 95-96 season for the Bulls? So, this is awesome. So you could dish like Jokic or Hallie or all of OKC. But, like, you also see with those guys, right? Like, you still need like that sort of guy that if this whole, you know, everybody eats offense is great, but like if shit hits the fan for the possession, then like you still have a guy that you can trust to find a way to like isolate and score, or find a way to like to attack the basket or something like that. So like that's where it's gonna be for me moving forward. It's like, is Giddey gonna become that guy, right? Which we saw it tonight. Or do the Bulls still need to go find that guy? Because, like, yeah, having a Jokic or a Halliburton or a SGA, that really helps if you have, like, the depth around it, right? Because they find ways to make tough buckets that make no sense. But it's sort of in a sense of, like, it's not the triangle fully, but, like, you know, with the triangle, they've always said, like, you need a guy, right, at the end of, like, if the possession goes to shit, then you just throw it to your best player, and then they'll just find a way to like get a shot up. So like I'm all for this, right? Like I'm all for this great ball movement and everything, because it does sort of kind of remind me of like the Spurs in 2014. But still, the Spurs in 2014, they still had multiple All-Stars in that roster, and you know Kawhi, you know, finally blossomed, but I mean he still had many future Hall of Famers on that squad. So that's gonna be kind of like my next step, because like I do think now we're looking at this Bulls team as like they should be making the playoffs, right? Like, hey, I'd be honestly devastated at this point if the Bulls don't make the playoffs this season. So I think they should be truly looking at some sort of playoff seeding. I don't know where, right? Because again, it's still early. I do think some teams are gonna find some ways to figure some stuff out, and at some point the Bulls are gonna come back down to earth in terms of, you know, not being not having a loss. Like it might be the next game here, but either way though, it's still a hell of a start. I just don't know what we're gonna be looking at in terms of like playoff seeding wise, because the East is so weird, and at some point I do think the Bulls they're not gonna be leading the East forever, as much as I want that to happen. But I'm hoping, man. We will see. Jock Landale's your top scorer for Grizzlies. Can I already tell what happened there? Oh, God, is that really what happened? Oh my goodness. Luka's back, by the way, which is great, but I'm utterly just like, what happened? What's going on? Are you not playing? Like, Luka with 44. Luka came back with it after his injury and just put up a 44-point performance. It's unreal. Definitely not a game I will watch though. I mean, that's fair. I just want to watch Luka. Like, Luka's insane. Not to be down on Jock, he's solid at center, but 16 points as your top performance is low for a team. That is definitely low, especially for a Grizzlies squad that I think is pretty formidable. Don't know what happened here. Don't know if Jock's injured. This guy needs more shots, but again, I didn't watch the game. Yeah, don't know what happened here if you're Grizzlies. 72-10, here we come. Bro, that's not gonna happen, but I mean, I love the idea of it, but it won't happen. Next up sounds like a contender. No, I don't think necessarily it's next step sounds like a contender. I think for me, it's about, can you like fully solidify yourself as a playoff squad right now, and being a very like quality playoff level team, right? Because like for example, like right now, like, do I think that if the Bulls went out and like traded for an all-star, do I think that this team is suddenly a contender? No. I think that there are still some holes in this roster that need to be filled. The rim protection needs to be better. And I do have some worries overall still, when it comes to some levels of the 3-point shooting aspects, but we'll save that story for another day. But I am interested in seeing, can this team show defensively, first and foremost, like, we need to, like, we're gonna be a pretty, like, solidified good defensive squad, because right now it's been good. Now here's the thing tonight, right? Even though we won this game and, like, the first half was amazing tonight, I would not be shocked if we fell from third in terms of defensive rating tonight, because we give 125 on 49% shooting. Okay, so that is something that I'm gonna be interested in moving forward. Of like, hey, can we find ways to consistently get good defensive effort, especially against some of these really good squads that I'm looking at here? That's gonna be the next step. I'm also looking at some development. Like, Buzelis needs to develop. He's a guy that I'm truly looking at as, like, he needs to develop for this team to take a next step forward. Center play is gonna be something. I know Zach Collins is injured, but I do think that we can always upgrade there in terms of that spot. But yeah, it's an odd spot to be in right now, because once again we're not gonna be undefeated for the entire season. So I am kind of like holding my breath a little bit of like, okay, when the first loss happens, then how are the Bulls gonna respond here? Like, we better not just suddenly just die, right? We need to find a way to recover from losses and come back and win some important games against some formidable opponents here. The West is also, I won't lie, man, the West is going to be a tough thing to look at. Like, I truly think this Western Conference is insane right now. And, the Bulls, they don't, I don't know when I think it's the Spurs is going to be their next Western Conference matchup. That's against Wemby. So that's right now currently another undefeated squad. So that's going to be something to look at too. But in terms of playoffs, man, I think this team should definitely be fighting for a playoff spot in this East. So it's gonna be San Antonio. This is gonna be interesting. I'm not ready to be like, oh, we're contenders. No, we're not. I'm not there yet. I know some people want that, but I'm a little bit interested in some things still. The defensive effort was awesome tonight, especially in that first half. I think it still needs to show me that it's not just a one-game hit where we're only giving up only 38 points in the paint tonight. It was a good showing to me, though, that you can do this, right? Like, you can protect the paint effectively. Like, that's a great showing. But does this team have the discipline to try to do this every night is a big question. And yeah, I'm interested in terms of the 3-point shooting right now for the Bulls. Like, the offense, unfortunately, has not been, like, super consistent right now. Like, we came in, I think, like 15th or 13th in terms of offensive rating. We're not shooting as many threes as you can see, so like, this is something to look at. And our 3-point percentage is like insane. So I'm interested in, like, can we continue this? Or else then we need to find ways to continuously still score in the paint and continue to the free throw line, which Giddey has done that for sure. But I think others, like Buzelis, right, for example, I think others need to step up in terms of consistently finding ways to score in the paint and consistently get to the free throw line. Right now, where are the Bulls at in terms of, we're top 15 in terms of free throws attempted. A lot of fouls being called all across the league. I won't lie. That's something that I'm heavily looking at. Here's us right now in terms of just field goal percentages. So it's been very good to start. I'm hoping that this level can continue. I don't know. There's definitely some questions for me. But I have a lot more faith, though, that this bench and this overall depth is going to keep Bulls in these games. Like, I have a lot more faith compared to some of these other squads. Like, I was really thinking that the Bulls are going to have some beatdowns this season, and in theory, it really shouldn't happen too often, unless, like, everyone just, like, shoots terribly this, like, at night in a game. But we should honestly be fighting in almost every game. Honestly, like, I'm being dead serious. Lucky, you're more confident than me still. I mean, I guess that's kind of huge then, because people think that I have little to no confidence on the squad. But I still think that, I mean, honestly, with the 5-0 start, like, we're talking about 5-0, and this Eastern Conference that I think is pretty awful right now. Like, you should be, I think you should be 6th seed at bare minimum. If you're not, I think it's a failure. Like, if it's 7-8, like, I'll kind of live with it, but I'd be honestly disappointed at this point. Like, I don't think we're gonna be top 4. I think the Bucks right now look too good. The Cavs are still very good, even though they're only 3-2 right now. Philly just got their first L tonight, but they're still formidable, and Embiid has not played fully. And I think New York, even though they've had this L tonight, I still think that they're going to be still a really good squad. So I don't think you're going to get top 4. The Pistons and the Magic are still my wild cards. Of just I don't know what to think of these guys at this moment in time. The Magic I have a lot less faith in. The Pistons, like, I can maybe see a world where they make a trade, or like Jaden Ivey comes back and like things are fixed, but they've definitely had their struggles to start the season. Miami's also very good, so that's another team. Yeah, I'm interested. We'll see. I think 6 seeds in the card, so I guess honestly, now that I've talked it through myself and talked to myself about it, it's probably more realistically what you are thinking, Charles, like 7-8. Like, that's probably more realistic at the end of the day. And I guess I shouldn't be too mad about that if that is the case. I won't lie though, like with this start, like I feel like if you don't get the 7 seed, like that's like if you get the 8 seed and with this start, that's still pretty disappointing to me. Like that means then like you beat the Hawks, for example, early, the Pistons and the Magic, and now the Knicks. Like that means then later in the season, like you got beat up probably, like you lost definitely a decent amount of those games to those squads later in the year. If you're like the 8 seed. But like the Bulls are showing that like at least early, right? And maybe this changes, but at least early, like you should be fighting against those teams easily. I don't know. Unrealistic call for the Bulls this season, I could believe is in at most would be mid-season tournament. I don't know if we'd win it, but I mean I could see us maybe getting like, you know, close to it. But I'll be hopeful for it, even though it sounds like it needs crack luck. I agree, but we'll see. Let me easily make Bulls against me. Oh god, I don't even want to think about trying to guard Wemby right now because like no one can. But like also then the Bulls like don't have any center depth to really try to guard him. So, oh god, like, that's gonna be an interesting game for sure. He's about the right person for all the Bulls' weaknesses and no counter strengths. Yeah. Oh god, at Wemby. I don't even want to think about that. That's gonna be treacherous. You know a content creator by the name Andrew Finnickle? No, I do not know who that is, unfortunately. He made a video about how the Bulls are fake and some of them when we're naughty and cause his takes are so terrible. So like again, I have my concerns still, right? But this team has proven me wrong in terms of a lot. Like I did not think the depth was this good, right? I did not think Giddey would be this good to start the season. I did not think Vooch would start the season this well. And the depth continues just to be incredible. Now, if that person is talking about the defensive effort in terms of like the points in the paint and everything, like the numbers are still scary coming into tonight. Because the Bulls, the opponent's expected field goal percentage against the Bulls was it's the worst in terms of like defensive effort. Like it's teams were like their expected field goal percentage is like extremely high. So like I can understand that in a sense, but I think the overall idea that the Bulls are fake is not necessarily the best take right now. Like very clearly this sort of like everybody eats offense and pushing tempo and playing faster is effective. Like I think that's something that we can say for sure at this point. And these guys have individually played better than I thought they would, so that's also for sure. Like I'm ready to go ahead and say that Giddey is like, I wasn't sure how that whole end of the season was for him. Like I wasn't sure how legit that was, but I'm now more convinced that that's legit from him in terms of at least getting to 20 points per game, right? I don't know if we're gonna be seeing 30 every night for him. Like this is a career high for him, right? There's a reason why this is a career high for him. But in terms of him getting to 20 every night and being this effective, I think this is pretty legit. I will say though that I do think the defense is something to still be concerned about a little bit. I feel better about it after tonight because they defended the paint defense effectively tonight. But still, though, heading into tonight, the Bulls still were the worst paint defense in the league. But what I do think is gonna, like, this is what I think is, like, you can't say they're fake, is that they should be in every game. Like, this bench is too good to be saying that, oh, they're gonna struggle, like, you know, there's gonna be games where they're gonna get blown out or something like that. That to me is not true. This bench unit is very clearly very effective. And even Io even as a guy as high as I am on Io, like, I think that this bench is, like, he's outperformed my expectations. He's done extremely well. So I don't know. I struggle. I don't think it should be fake, but, like, I think there should be some labels of concern, like some. And it's mostly on the defensive end still, and it's because it's just because of the defensive personnel in the center position. It's a little bit scary. That's kind of the only thing right now. That's, like, kind of why I'm like, huh. I wouldn't call this team fake right now. After this win tonight, like, I wouldn't call them fake. I think maybe after that, like, the Kings win, I didn't really take anything from it, honestly, besides that the Bulls started out slow. But the Bulls are better than the Kings. Like, I knew that coming into the season. Like, the Bulls are gonna be better than the Kings. The Hawks win, like, I think that there could have been a bit of an argument. I was honestly kind of leaning into it a little bit of, like, okay, like, we are definitely having some luck in terms of the three-point shooting right now, and the paint defense continues to struggle. Like, we are doing enough on offense to make sure that we are, you know, staying in the game and everything. But, like, defensively, we are getting some benefit right now from guys not hitting threes. But after tonight, right, where the Knicks hit their threes, and I mean, the Bulls were contesting hard, but the Knicks still hit them. But the paint defense was enough tonight, right? Where if you give up 60 points in the paint tonight and 18 threes, you're not winning this game, right? But because they were to defend the paint effectively, I feel better. So I don't know if I would call them fake in terms of, like, they're gonna just suddenly plummet. Are they maybe still a 500 squad? Maybe. I can maybe see an argument. I would expect, though, after a 5-0 start, you should not be finishing the season 500. I would be pretty disappointing in you if you did. 7-8 making the playoffs still could be good. I think, honestly, it could be good. It matters how the rest of the East looks. Now, if you're 7-8 and you have an under 500 record, I don't feel great about that, but you shouldn't be, honestly. That matches them to the Knicks to be second round exit. Maybe. I'm gonna go ahead and say that I think the Knicks might still, like, I'm gonna choose the Knicks still in terms of a 7-game series against the Bulls right now. I know that's tonight doesn't, you know, wouldn't make you think otherwise, but I'm gonna still choose the Knicks in a 7-game series right now. Which is like a shock for me, sure. I mean, yeah, he's absolutely shocked me. I'm 60 before tonight, but the Knicks feel like they are about to break, and the coach might lose the locker room, Cat specifically. I personally think it's a combination of the new offense with Mike Brown, and that they're trying to figure out the whole, like, Brunson's definitely more off ball this season, if you notice. So, like, they're heavily adjusting to a completely different style, and Cat definitely doesn't look that comfortable. So I don't know if I'm gonna say the Knicks are about to break. Like, I feel like I've done this before with the Knicks, where I feel like that they're about to, like, completely fall apart, and then, like, they're fine. So I'm not ready to say that. They definitely had some concerning losses. Like, I think that Bucks loss is honestly pretty concerning, and you lost pretty similarly tonight to the Bulls. That was, like, it's almost in very similar fashion. Like, it's, you know, the other team's hitting threes, like, you're getting wrecked by their bench. It's almost similar, except for the Knicks had a great second quarter in that Bucks game. So I don't know if I'm ready to say that yet. Now, give it maybe 2 more weeks here, and you know, they're having some serious losses, then I could see it. I could see them just not trusting Mike Brown, because Mike Brown got fired, you know, in Sacramento, and they're probably thinking, well, why is he here, right? I'll be bold and say Giddey is going to have another big game in the Garden. I could believe it. I just don't know if the Bulls win. Like, I think on the road in Madison Square Garden be tough. That's such a big weakness for for a team aiming to win could easily lose faith in him unless they manage to trade him for a rim protector. Reminded that Mitchell Robinson just got back, so I do think that's important. Have Cat full-time power forward. I'm not worried necessarily about the offense. I'm worried more about the defense with Cat at power forward, but there's honestly an argument that like it's better for him, but we'll see. Because like if he's not really a shot blocker, then he might as well just have him on the perimeter instead. And so like he'll guard guys like a Koro and like he'll be fine. But we'll see. Still, we could disguise him much better if they don't trade for a proper center rim protector. Then I would hate whoever is in charge of it if I was a fan of theirs. I mean, honestly, who is it? I don't. Is it Leon Rose? No, I honestly don't know who's in charge right now for the Knicks, and I should. Yeah, it's Leon Rose. Okay. I mean, it is a James Dolan run organization, so I guess we should always kind of think of the worst at the end. All right. We're gonna quickly go through some film, and after this, we're gonna. I want to talk about kind of the rest of the league here, and then we'll preview the Bulls' next matchup again in Madison Square Garden on Sunday here. We'll look around the rest of the league because it's been quite the impressive starts for some of these squads, Bulls included. But we are one of the last 3 remaining squads to be undefeated this season, so major props to these guys. Major props to Donovan. I think Donovan's done well in this so far to start this game. But sorry, hold on. I didn't show much of the box score, so I really quickly did want to talk about this. So here's a Koro, and so like I'm not as critical of him tonight because like he really did get a lot of run. He had 60 minutes, and you know I like 29, right? Patrick Williams had 23. Now I won't lie, like I do think that there's a reason for this. Like I think putting him on Cat to start the game was good. Like that was a good decision, but I like that Donovan is not like looking to bring him back in the game right now because the bench is playing too well, and then when you're closing, like he's just unfortunately been not very effective on offense. And if this is going to be a everybody eats offense and everyone has to be effectively moving the ball, shooting it, or putting it on the floor, Okoro unfortunately has not shown the ability to do that so far. So again, I'm not as critical of him from this game. Not that much playing time, but I'm more so giving credit to Donovan because like Okoro's offense right now has just been rough. And again, if he is still trying to figure it out, that's fine. I just still would just bring him off the bench if that is the case. But I give a lot of props to Donovan for willing to not play him as much right now because he's not really being as effective as someone else on offense is at the moment in time. Like right now, Patrick Williams is just better on offense. It just straight up is. He's launching the 3-point shots with a lot of confidence, and he's taking them from all over the floor. It's not just corners, right? He's also shooting pull-up threes. So like that alone is just more effective than Okoro is right now on offense. But he's like Patrick, I think so far has been better in terms of finishing at the rim, right? Like Okoro's had some pretty massive, like he's missed some layups that are just like how. And so again, I'm not here to say that we need to just bench this guy or anything like that. I'm just pointing this out that like, hey, there needs to definitely be some better play from him to get some more minutes. But props to Donovan for not, playing him like all the time right now, just because the front office did trade for him, and he's playing the guys that are very clearly playing better. Like Berger's had a very good start to the season. He needs more minutes than Okoro. Io has been incredible to start the season. He needs more minutes than Okoro, right? So, like right now, it's been good. Patrick, same thing. Like Patrick's been better than Okoro to start the season. So even though P-Will's coming off the bench, I still need him to play more than Okoro is right now. But it is just something just to keep in mind moving forward. And I'm hoping that he'll figure out his way on offense soon. The biggest thing, as always, is if you can just hit the 3-point shot. And so, I mean, we've talked about with Giddey. Okoro, unfortunately, as I've said, like I know the percentage looks nice, right? But he just unfortunately has not been a consistent 3-point shooter in his career due to the lack of volume. A guy that only shoots corner threes, or mostly only shoots corner threes, and is not the best overall percentage-wise, is like a defensive like gift. because that guy's also not really putting the ball on the floor, and the defense can just basically sag off of him and then do a late closeout to him, and they'll just kind of live with the result. So he needs to figure out a way to be better in terms of, you know, finishing his cuts, right, and finishing at the rim, being better in transition for opportunities, and then obviously hitting the three-point shot. I'm looking to see what we can get more out of Okoro. It's a rough start, but it's okay, and I'm okay with, honestly, you know, not playing him as much right now to start the season. And, you know, defensively, obviously, if we need a good defensive possession, then put him out there. On offense, though, like, I'm not really asking for much at this point. Idiots plus 82 versus Knicks plus minus. That is crazy. That is honestly insane. First triple double was against him, I believe. Yeah, I think you did say that last time. We talked about the Giddey versus the Knicks. Was they took a rebound off Giddey there? Oh, did he have 11? I did not know that. I thought he had 10. Gore is just a good. Put him out there and see what he does to his best player. And if he isn't that effective, take him out. I mean, like, I just unfortunately just I'm looking at a core right now as like he's Andre Roberson, and I don't want that. Like that doesn't make me feel good. I was hoping for more. Like Roberson couldn't shoot threes, but like right now, Okoro has just been too inconsistent from 3-point range. So like I'm hoping this is not going to continue. But if he's going to shoot 32% from the field, and I believe this is updated now, yeah, we need better. Unfortunately, it's not updated, I guess. But yeah, still, it's gonna have to be better from him. Scary Billy was like, okay, bench Okoro, I'll put people on when he finally has a suitable spot. People, so like, here's the thing though. If Pat, like, I don't know what it is with Pat, but like maybe starting is just like screwing him over. So like, if this is really just a way for Pat just to get his consistent play, then I'm all for it. Like, we'll just have to just bench Okoro right after like his 6-minute stint in the first quarter. Like, it is genuinely just like was it Keith Bogans? Like I wasn't watching the Bulls that much when it was that time, but like it's like the Keith Bogans like idea, just like he starts but it doesn't play that much. Like I remember Jerry and Grant under Fred Hoiberg, where Jerry and Grant would play 8 minutes, start the game, and never play for the rest of the half. So like that's fine if that has to be the way, just to make sure that you know, Patrick Williams plays better. Like another guy that, like, for example, that for some reason just plays better off the bench is Bobby Portis. Like when Portis was here with the Bulls, like he talked about how just coming off the bench for some reason was just better for him. Because when he did start, like it wasn't like as effective from, you know, he had like some good moments, you know, with the Bulls, but like he was very clearly just better off the bench, and like he'll finish games. But if that's the case with Pat, then so be it. Like if Okoro truly just is a placeholder for like 6 minutes, then okay. We need to upgrade that, obviously, if this is going to be, you know, the Bulls looking to go somewhere. But if this is going to get the best out of Pat, then all right, then this is fine. Like we said, though, once Kobe comes back, we'll have some discussions, because I do think that we'll have to talk about some things when Kobe does come back. Like, hey, what is the plan now? Oh, Dodgers forced a Game 7. I just saw that. Okay, wow. All right. I want to show some film. It'll be really quick here. So I know that we're trying to make this quicker on this channel, but I do want to show, like, I truly want to give praise to some of these guys. Like, I want to show it through the film, not just talk about it. Like, I want to give some praise to these guys, because they've done really good. To find ways to effectively defend in this game, and also on offense, man. It is truly just nice to see how well this offense continues to hum. I am still like, I'm hoping that this level can continue. I don't know if it will on offense, but I'm hoping, man. I have hope that this offense can continue to play this well. First and foremost, we're gonna go to a good defensive possession that I want to talk about in the first quarter. That I was thoroughly impressed with how the Bulls were guarding Jalen Brunson early in this game. Okay, and so a lot of guys are guarding Jalen Brunson throughout the night, but we're gonna focus on Trey Jones in this clip here. So I'm gonna back it up a little bit. All right, this is to avoid copyright. I'm doing this to avoid copyright because it hit me recently. So Trey Jones is on Jalen Brunson. All right, hold on. All right, for once, I'm actually using a black marker here, and it's just because finally we have a court that's a little bit different, and Bulls are in black here. Never mind. We're gonna go to red. That looks bad. Okay. All right. Trey Jones is here. Here's Io. Both of them guarded Jalen Brunson tonight, but let's watch Trey Jones. Okay. So Jalen Brunson did get a screen and roll. Okay. Now let's watch how well Trey Jones gets through this screen and stays on Jalen Brunson. Like, this is how you prevent paint looks. All right. This is the epitome of, I need you to fight through this screen to put the defense in a better position so that we can get out to all the other perimeter guys. And so you fighting through this screen limits options for the ball handler, and it's going to help the rest of the defense stay where they need to be to rotate effectively, okay? And Trey Jones gets screen here, and look at him recover, right? This is a great recovery. He lost contact here a little bit, and he had to get through the screen and get back to Jalen Brunson. And right now, at this moment, you're going to see that Trey Jones is about to make contact, okay? Oh, sorry, I went ahead. 1 second. Accidentally clicked ahead in the timeline. Now I'll go back. Okay, commercial. All right, watch it again. Gets picked off, loses contact, back to him. Okay, back to him, and forces Jalen Brunson to have to take a little fading one-legged mid-range shot and not get a layup with a strong hand because Brunson's going left, right? So just once again, just to give Trey Jones, like, this is the type of stuff I'm looking for, right? Instead of Brunson getting a layup, and maybe, yeah, someone's able to come over and contest it, okay? But these guys are just too good at, once they get to the rim, like, it's just over, right? Like, unless you're gonna have Wembanyama back there, like, once these guys get to the rim, like, I don't really, like, there's just sometimes you just can't really do anything about it. Even if the rotation's on point. But you see here how much Trey Jones fights through the screen, gets back and recovers onto him, right? And it makes Brunson have to stop his momentum from just being able to just go here, right? And just try to get a layup out of it. And Trey Jones gets back in front of him enough to then force this little floating shot, okay? That's how you prevent layups. This is how you're able to stop these easy little layups that the Bulls are giving up. And it's just through fighting through screens effectively on the defensive end. Like, Trey Jones did a hell of a job tonight. And he deserves a lot of credit. The box score wasn't the best from him. He missed some shots, but he was doing a great job tonight. Now, another guy I've been praising to start the season just because of how well he's played. It is none other than 44 himself. He has done great off the bench. Okay. I'm gonna bring this over to avoid copyright. All right, so we're gonna be focusing on Patrick Williams on this play, and he's guarding a guy, Jordan Clarkson, who I think has a speed advantage over him. Okay, and so here's Jordan Clarkson, here's Patrick Williams. Okay, so it's gonna be another screen and roll set for Jordan Clarkson, and it's for Pat to fight over the screen. Okay, and you're gonna see here how effectively Pat gets over the screen. Won't lie, maybe not the best overall screen from Towns. And now that I'm looking at it now. But Pat got through this screen, right? And stayed connected the entire time. This is what we want. It limits options for the ball handler if you're able to stay connected through the screen, okay? Stay connected doesn't allow for a look for Jordan Clarkson, okay? And because of that, and this is where it was about 10 seconds left in the shot clock, the Knicks are trying to scramble at this point. Like, okay, we got to find a way to get a shot up. So we're going to throw it back out to Cat, right? And he's going to have to go find a way to put this one up. And the Bulls, yet again, do not let him get all the way to the basket for a layup. They instead force him out enough to have to take a little floating shot, and he ends up missing it. And yeah, that's a makeable shot for Cat, don't get me wrong. But that percentage right there, taking that little floater shot, is much lower than him taking a layup. And so, again, everybody deserves a lot of credit for what they did tonight to prevent layups from certain matchups and certain moments throughout the game. Like, this is the best I've seen this Bulls defense this season, okay? To be able to stop this team from getting into the paint as easily and just getting looks at the rim, like, from the restricted area, and forcing them to have to take some of these shots that might be paint shots if you look at them, but they're little floaters and they're not in the restricted area. Like, this is it. This is exactly what I wanted to see, and it was on full display in that first half. So shout out to these guys that I put out or that I showed in this in the film here. I'm gonna show some good stuff on offense to show how good the Bulls are when it comes to their spacing to start the season. Now Now, weirdly enough, I did just criticize this guy for his offensive output, but this is me showing the 1-3 he made. So as you see, I'm not showing always terrible things when it comes to Isaac Okoro here. But I want to point out on this play how well the Bulls are effectively rotating within their offense. Okay, and what I mean by that is the spacing for the Bulls has been solid to start this season, and sometimes, it's not always, but sometimes you're gonna be seeing this sort of play where it's like, you know, typical pick and roll top the key, and you're gonna see this for Giddey. Okay, but when Giddey decides, hey, I'm gonna go take this pick and roll, and obviously I'm gonna go this way with it, then you're gonna see everyone rotate effectively, and I'm talking about these guys rotating. Okay, so how many times have I talked about this in preseason if you weren't here, or if you were here? But if you were not here, basically what I mean, and this is new kind of from what the Grizzlies were doing last season, okay, is if, let's say, a driver goes and is driving with his left hand to the basket, okay, so they drive left, that means that everyone's gonna have to rotate left, hence that Okoro goes to the corner, Herter clears out, okay, and Buzelis is gonna be here, but he's gonna move left over one to the wing. Okay, that's what I mean by rotating effectively within the offense. It helps the spacing stay well as the pick and roll is happening. So you're gonna watch here, okay, as this pick and roll happens with Giddey, okay, watch what the Bulls are doing. See, immediately as Giddey is taking this pick, you see Herter's moving, Okoro's going to the corner, and you're gonna hi, are we back? Thumbs up if we're back. Sorry, I dropped 600 frames in like 5 seconds. So, sorry, I don't know if you guys saw that or not, or if it was just like a small thing for you guys, but sorry, I was just like, oh god, like that was bad. Thumbs up, thank you. Okay. Okay. As I was saying, I don't know how much you guys saw. So just rewind one more time just to talk about what we're looking at here. Anytime a player, anytime a player drives left, okay, then you're gonna see the offense effectively rotate left, okay. And so as you're gonna see here on this pick and roll, okay, so Herter should clear out. Now Buzelis didn't move, but he should be moving up here, okay, and Okoro is gonna go to the corner, okay. So everyone moves left one in the offense. Now what this does is you're gonna see OG, right? OG Anunoby on this pick and roll is looking to help, okay. He's looking to try to see if he can like swipe in and try to get the ball to get his hands, right? But initially you would think, oh, if Landry Shamit's here and the ball's thrown to Okoro, then Shamit can pick up my guy, and then OG Anunoby can go pick up Herter, okay? But because of the Bulls spacing here, okay, you see Anunoby is like cheating over. Now all of a sudden the spacing is much different, and there is no help for Anunoby on this play. Therefore, Okoro is going to be able to get a wide open look out of this, and he's able to knock it down, okay? That's how the spacing effectively works within this Bulls offense, okay? And I want to like point this out as much as we can, because these little things are never going to always be talked about. But to me, these are crucial things, especially if the Bulls are going to be continuing to run this sort of offense. This is crucial. This needs to continue to help guys generate looks that, you know, aren't necessarily off of maybe someone's gravity, but it's off of the Bulls' effective spacing and movement within the offense. So I wanted to show that as a nice example of what the Bulls did tonight. Last thing I want to show, so that was the one offensive thing I want to show. I'm going to show one more defensive good thing that the Bulls did in the first half. And it's not going to be about the Bulls fighting through screens. It's going to be about the Bulls effectively switching, okay? So, let's watch the possession here for the Bulls to effectively switch and not give up an easier layup because we didn't communicate our switches effectively, okay? Again, something that is very preventable. Like you know, the team messing up a switch is very preventable. That's something that will give up paint points because it's going to put two guys on one guy that doesn't have the ball, and then you're playing 4v3 with your defense in scramble mode. So to limit the switching, or limit the mistakes on switches is humongous. So let's watch this, okay? You see here, they're gonna try to switch this, okay? And so the Bulls did a good job. You know, Giddey was on Clarkson, now he's on Anunoby. You're gonna see now Buzelis gonna take Clarkson, okay? So good job executing a switch. All right, now you're gonna see how much the Bulls effectively worked on the switch, and then you're gonna see Herter come in and try to grab this ball or try to swipe at it. Good help defense to not allow Jordan Clarkson just to get an easier look inside. It's hard for Vooch to help in this situation because Cat is on the perimeter. So good job by Herder to come in with his hands and get the strip on this, and the Bulls are off to the races. Just to give a little shout out to Herder on this possession, I'm going to rewind this back just a little bit more, okay? And just to show the full possession here, Herder did a good job here overall, just in this entire possession, okay? You're going to see here off of this little handoff action, or sorry, this is pistol into then you'll see the screen here from Towns, okay? This is Herder doing a good job of staying on McBride, okay? He fought through the screen, which, again, I think Towns kind of is not doing the best right now with his screening, but still, you got to fight through it, right? Towns is a big guy, and so any sort of contact, I think, could definitely slow you down. But you see that Towns was, didn't really get the best screen, but you can still get caught up on that, and Herder stayed in front of McBride, okay? This entire possession, stayed in front, stayed connected. And then you see here where the Knicks try to get a little switch action and see the Bulls kind of mess it up. The Bulls effectively switch this, right? And there wasn't even a screen from really Anunoby. It was just kind of like a half screen. So it could definitely be messed up by the Bulls if they don't effectively switch this and someone's open. Good job by Buzelis to stay on the ground here and take away the initial drive. And then Herder comes in, does a great job of getting his hands in and able to get the steal. Okay, Bulls are off to the races after this. So, like, just to show you how much better this is, okay? Last game, right, I showed you a possession where Russell Westbrook's in the corner, Bulls are trying to play 3-2 zone, and he just gets an easy layup out of it. We're seeing the Bulls, they can't for some reason find a way to find Sabonis off of a DeRozan, post up where the Bulls decide to double, and no one's effectively there to stop Sabonis getting a dunk, right? That's the problem. Like, those are issues that I'm like, those are preventable issues that we need to fix. And these sort of things that I'm showing you right now, right? This is how you fix it, and this is definitely better for the Bulls moving forward. Okay, I think the threes will, as we saw tonight, they're gonna go down at some point. Okay, like I'm telling you, when we face this Bucks squad, assuming that they're all kind of healthy, I am expecting an absolute just shooting barrage from this squad, and they're gonna be making threes that make no sense. Okay, like we might be in their faces and guarding them effectively, and they're just be hitting those threes. But if you can find a way to stop or try to limit Giannis's points in the paint, or try to limit guys like Ryan Rollins from getting into the paint as easily, and prevent guys from getting easy layups or dunks, then I think you're gonna find yourselves in the game still, which is gonna be something that we need to look at moving forward and continue to effectively guard the paint or look to prevent easier touches into the paint this season. So great job by the Bulls tonight. I want to see more of this, especially because we're facing the Knicks again on Sunday in Madison Square Garden. Big respect also to her this season defensively. Yeah, he has been, I'd say, like a top 40% defender at least. I would guess he has the best defensive rating for the team. We'll check. It's Trey Jones gets no shocks. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, Trey Jones has been great. Also, the worst though is Nuts. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. I think Ayo has actually been like pretty solid defensively. Like he hasn't been getting as many steals as I would like, but he's actually done pretty well defensively in terms of picking up full court. And he's done a good job of fighting over screens. It's not, I think Trey Jones has probably been the best in terms of what I've seen in terms of fighting over screens. But I think Ayo's honestly done pretty solid. It's just kind of weird how Ayo's just kind of gotten that knock on him for whatever reason. Ayo isn't even because he's matching opposing stars minutes either. Yeah, that's just kind of just odd. It's just whenever the other team has just made a run, I guess. But we'll see. I'd say Ayo hasn't looked great or bad defensively. Trey definitely feels the best, but the gap is big. I think Ayo's actually done pretty well. Like, his full court pressure has been pretty effective. And I don't take that away, because that's now a new trend also in the league, is that like we're seeing teams pick up full court. Which I honestly did not think we'd ever be seeing that at this point, but that is a new trend all of a sudden, and that is something that we're looking at. I think Ayo's actually done a good job in terms of, like, we've seen him actually do good with getting through screens, but he's also done, like, honestly a decent enough job in terms of some rotations. It's not Trey Jones. Trey Jones is just like, Trey Jones is able to shoot the gaps and just understand where passes are going, and then he'll find also ways to, like, pickpocket a guy, and it's just like, oh my god, like, Trey Jones is just incredible. So yeah, I do think that Trey Jones has been probably the best. But I don't think Ayo's been like the worst by any means, honestly. OKC started that 2 seasons ago for every possession, I think, and he adopted fast with others. That makes sense. But now, like, for example, like Portland's not picking up full court. Like, Pacers are picking up full court, which we saw that last season a little bit from the Pacers, but it's been effective. Like, it's honestly been, I'm seeing the effectiveness of it. I always worry of it is just that, like, if the guy bringing the ball up the court gets past that defender, right? Like, it's then all of a sudden you're playing 5-on-4 defense, because then the guy that picked up full court is trying to recover the entire time. And so I was always so worried about that. Like, I was like, I don't know if we need to do this. Like, I know, like, when Tibbs was here, like, Kirk Heinrich would always, like, kind of do it sometimes, but it was always just kind of a scary idea, at least in my head, because I've seen teams get burned. But if you're finding ways to slow down the ball from getting up the floor with this, then absolutely keep doing this. Until the offense adjusts to it effectively, then you need to keep doing this. Trey Jones trade value must be through the roof. I'm sure it is. I'd be shocked if the Bulls at this point were going to get rid of him. You know, there's always a price, but I mean, I think he's played too good. If stayed like this, it's a first rounder worth, right? If he continues to be one of the best in terms of steals per game and continue to shoot this efficiently and not turn the ball over, then maybe. I could see an argument for it. Especially if some team looks at him as a starter. Then if he's looked at as a starter, for sure. If he's looked at as more of a bench guy, I don't really know. But if he's going to come off the bench and play starter minutes, then yeah, I think he would be. In the full court pickup tends to be very fast defenders. That would make sense to help make sure that they're able to stick with the guy and not let him just blow right past you. That would make sense. Yeah. So it's going to have to be kind of guys that are a little bit smaller in terms of like height, but they have the wingspan to stick with the guy, right? And also the speed, so they're not like, the center of gravity is lower, so they can effectively stay on their man. Which obviously OKC is full of those guys. They don't have any guys that are like 6'8" or 6'7", and they just have a bunch of guys that are smaller with large wingspans. So it makes total sense. Yeah, I've been appreciating to see the Bulls adapt some of these ideas on the defensive end. All right, that's it for film. Thank you for listening and watching. I want to show just to give some of these guys some credit in terms of the film and not just me talking about it. So again, hell of a job tonight, man. This is awesome to watch. If you have not hit the like button on the stream, please do. Helps me out a lot. I sincerely appreciate all the likes and the support on the recent streams. It's been honestly an insane amount of support with the streams recently, so thank you guys so much. Once again, I'm gonna post my OnTap Sportsnet author link, so please go ahead and if you have not read any of my articles, please do. And great start to the season in terms of articles and everything. So content-wise, just everything from me, but please go ahead and read my OnTap Sportsnet articles. Yeah, please go ahead and check this out. Link is now in the chat. We're looking for more views, if you're wondering, by the way. Like, I've gotten great feedback about, like, you know, not just my articles, but also from what people have written. But like, we're trying to do, like, if you're wondering like, why it's such a shameless promotion right now, we're trying to get more, like, people need to read these. So please read them. It's not necessarily for my benefit, it's more for the company's benefit. So this is not necessarily asked for me, it's more of an ask for the company. So please read if you have not read it yet. Because I do think that not just my stuff, but also what other people have done have been good. There's the company's been calling for more views, so we're all putting the effort, man. So please check it out. Thanks, Duncan. Yeah, man. Thank you, Charles. By the way, you've been awesome, man. Thank you for the donations to start the season. It's very generous of you. Thank you so much. Bulls about to pull another one, maybe. Bro, if they pull another one, they start 6-0. Oh my god. I honestly, I would obviously still give credit to the Bulls, but it's gonna really make me question the Knicks if the Knicks lose this next game. Like, it would genuinely make me really question the Knicks at that point. That's something that I'm just like, oh god, if the Knicks lose another one of these, like, ugh. Hey man, we're off to a hell of a start, so it's definitely doable. I think the Bulls have every ability to go in and beat them in Madison Square Garden. So, a couple things about tonight. As much as I have applauded the paint protection defense that we saw tonight from this Bulls squad, I do not expect this to stay the same level, okay? That does not mean I'm saying it's gonna go to shit, I'm just saying that I just don't expect the same level tonight, okay? Where we only give up 38 points in the paint. I'm expecting that to be higher. So all I'm asking for is that you don't give up 60 plus, okay? If you give up 50, so be it, right? That's good. We did a decent enough job. I'm just asking you just don't give up 60 plus, which is what we came into tonight, okay? Again, we came into tonight averaging 63 points in the paint given up. Do not do that in this next game, okay? So I expect this to be better for the Knicks. I just don't know how much better. So try to limit it. I'm also very worried about this number, okay? The Bulls did a great job tonight with their turnovers. Everybody did insanely well of not turning it over or not giving up stupid turnovers until like the very end where we saw Herter give up that one turnover, but you know, didn't matter at that point. The Knicks have very capable defenders, and even guys like Brunson find ways to get steals. So it's going to be very vital for the Bulls to not just suddenly just come into Madison Square Garden and start turning it over. Probably their best turnover game, I think, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but this to me felt like the best in terms of the Bulls having control of the ball. So that is something that needs to make sure that we do not go into Madison Square Garden and just suddenly start turning it over. What I do think that I think the Bulls can do is that they're going to win the rebounding battle again. They barely won it tonight. Now they gave up a lot of second chance points, but I do think the Bulls can still win the rebounding battle. And so I have faith that they'll find a way to continue to get the defensive rebounds when necessary, especially with Giddey, playing. Like I think he'll find ways to get the rebounds. So look for that. Some pretty key things. And also, Jalen Brunson is Jalen Brunson. That is always going to be something that is very scary. He had like a pretty good game tonight, but I know he can play better than this. So be prepared. Make sure he doesn't just start get going, because he's a guy that can go off for 50 at any moment. Please be careful. That's all I'm just going to say. Need more from Booz next game to cover whoever falls off. Completely agree. I think Booz needs to play better. I would love if Okoro can play better, but I don't know what to really expect from him at this point. And also, like, I'm gonna hope Io's okay. If we're without Io, I'm not gonna feel too great, but I'm gonna hope he's all right. But if he's like not 100% but still playing, we're gonna still need some help off the bench, and so Trey Jones is gonna have to also pick it up. Herter is gonna have to take some points. So it's important that these guys step up when, if someone doesn't have it really going that night. Like, we gotta see these guys step up a little bit here. Like Booz, maybe Trey Jones a little bit, Okoro, Herter. But I know Herter's played really well, but he might have to get some more minutes if Io's not 100%. But I'm gonna hope Io's all right. Seems like just a needs to quad, but I also know that can not feel great. So yeah, it's gonna be important that everyone steps up. Fair call given the turnovers for Giddey. 0, yeah. And it's not necessarily just him. Like, I think that we've seen many of these guys have some bad turnover games, like not just Giddey. Like we've seen, Okoro have some bad turnovers in the season, Buzelis, obviously. So like we need to not come in and just start turning it over. Like Giddey, I'm sure Giddey's gonna have a turnover in that game, but like it's not necessarily him, it's about everyone else. So like we gotta make sure that we don't have these turnovers just, I don't know, we just picking Buzelis' pocket or something like that. Bulls can win rebounds, yes, and paint points. I think that is definitely doable. With Cat or Mitchell Robinson not being 100%, not playing all the minutes yet, and Cat still being, Cat, there's a defense, then I think the Bulls can definitely win the points in the paint battle, and they can out-rebound the Knicks. But let me tell you, man, I think this Knicks team can definitely still find a way to out-rebound us. Like, I think it's very doable. This Knicks team is a very scrappy team when they want to be. So don't take this lightly, right? Like this is the reason why I'm pointing this out, because I think this Knicks team is very doable is very capable of beating us in all these categories. So we can't let our guard down just because we won against them already and be like, oh, we're good. Like, we'll come in and just try to replicate. Like, no, the Knicks are gonna make adjustments. They're gonna fight harder. It's Madison Square Garden at the end of the day. Like, it's gonna be tougher. So yeah. Trey needs to make Brunson another Young. People didn't turn over any dribble. That was also key. Yeah, that was also key. Patrick drove, but he didn't turn it over on his drives. Pretty huge. That is pretty massive. So yeah, we don't expect that to continue, unfortunately. Please do PUO. Yeah. Hey man. Well, I hope this continues for Patrick. It's been nice. Yeah, but let's just hope, man. I'm hopeful. But I'm not expecting a win. Like, I'm not gonna, like, if let's say the Bulls lose, I'm not gonna come and be like, oh, how dare you, like, you know, I'm not gonna be like all grouchy or anything, but I want effort. Okay, you're gonna be on the same nights of rest. Like, you're basically flying in at the same time as the New York Knicks, pretty much. Like, there's basically no, like, rust advantage for the Knicks here besides just it's Madison Square Garden and it's their home court. So, like, there's pretty much nothing, honestly. The Knicks had a rest advantage tonight, actually. So, like, there's pretty much nothing to be like, no excuses besides maybe someone getting injured. So, I'm expecting a good fight. We'll should be fighting for this game. I'm looking forward to it. All right, really quickly, I want to go through a couple things. So, Blazers won. I don't know what just happened. I was kind of watching this game here. All right, wow. Okay, so shooting foul. Grant hit 2 free throws. Jokic missed a shot. Pretty huge. All right. We'll see the Clippers win this one. I don't know what the Pelicans are doing, honestly, but the Pelicans trade away the Pacers pick back to the Pacers, and they traded their own pick to get Derek Queen this season. So, not sure what the Pelicans are doing. They have a chance right now to go 0-5, start the season. That would be tragic if they did. But it looks like Leonard showed up finally. He finally arrived to the season. 6 steals, holy crap. So yeah, 4x5 game for Leonard tonight. I don't know what the Pelicans are doing, honestly. I'm just lost what the plan is, but yeah. 76ers lost, so the Celtics, after their rough start, have recovered to 3-3. So they honestly look like they're gonna be like okay. I don't know what exactly the plan is for them moving forward, but if they're gonna still continue to fight, then I think they're still gonna be okay. Like, they're not gonna be you know contenders, but they'll be okay. There's gonna be like kind of a mediocre squad, it looks like. Raptors beat the Cavs. I don't know how the hell this happened, but interesting. I'll be watching the highlight. Oh, no Donovan Mitchell. Okay, now I know why. This makes a lot of sense. Interesting. No Jared Allen either. Ugh. Okay. Honestly, the Cavs did a decent job putting up a fight. Lakers have Luka back, and Suns beat the Jazz tonight. Okay, so that's our little recap of the NBA games tonight. Did our preview for the next game on Sunday, so unless something does happen, there is a chance I might have to miss this game in terms of post game, but I shouldn't. I should be fine. But there is a chance. So either way though, expect post game stream 8:30 p.m. Central Time. So we'll be at Madison Square Garden at 6 p.m. Central Time. Take on the Knicks, and we'll see if the Bulls can go to 6-0, man. 6-0. It's honestly very impressive. Hell of a start, man. This is awesome. So keep it going, man. I'm hoping this is able to continue. Unfortunately, I think this might be where it comes to an end, but either way though, if you give a good fight, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm looking forward to this game. IPL is beating Clippers, but it's so close. It is close, yeah. You watching Raptors play boring basketball? They have some issues, I won't lie. Scotty Barnes is just not turning into anything I thought he would. Like, I thought he would be a lot better than he is. He just isn't. Looks like Jordan Poole's going off. Let's see here. I just want to. Unfortunately, I can't watch this live with you guys. I would love for me to do it, but oh, okay. Leonard just lost the ball. In a timeout, and so Pelicans have the ball here with 14 seconds left-ish. 13. Lions playing. Jordan Poole is off the bench. I don't know what Willie Green's doing with that, but sure. He's back in the game here. 7 threes for Jordan Poole. I don't know, man. This whole trade for Derek Queen, like, don't get me wrong, Queen can be a good player, but you traded your own pick this season to trade it up to get Derek Queen. Is just like, oh god, and then you traded the Pacers pick away. The Pacers are 0-5. Like, it's still early, but like, I don't know if you're the Pelicans, like, you might start 0-5 here. Like, you don't have your own pick. What happened? Shooting foul. Okay. Shooting foul on Zion. It looked like Zion hit the first free throw. We'll see about the second one. I don't know if from that draft class with Scotty is good. With Scotty is good in the first 6 picks. Honestly, I've always felt that K draft is the best first 6 picks we've ever seen. It honestly might. There's definitely a chance. Nah, single miss. Green is the one I do kind of feel is a miss, but he isn't that bad. He's definitely not that bad. Yeah. I haven't really seen too much. Oh my God. Did Leonard just hit a buzzer beater? Oh my God. No. Oh my God. I think Kawhi just hit a buzzer beater, bro. I'm sure they're gonna review it, but I think Kawhi legit just hit a buzzer beater just to beat the Pelicans right now. Let's see. I'm gonna go on Twitter really quickly. Yeah, Kawhi hit the buzzer. Hit the buzzer beater, man. Oh my God. Oh my, bro, the Pelicans are starting 0-5 to start the season. They don't have their pick. That's brutal. Big win for the Clippers because they just lost to the Warriors. And the Warriors are coming off a back-to-back, and they got wrecked by the Warriors. Like, they barely scored in that game. So, big win for the Clippers. You beat Zion's healthy, so they beat a pretty formidable squad here. Leonard had an insane game. He had a 4x5 with 34 points, 6 steals, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 68% from the field. Just hit the game winner. That is an insane game from Leonard. Harden with another good game, 24 and 14. Continues to be a great overall playmaker. But yeah, that's brutal for the Clippers, man. Or sorry, for the Pelicans. That is brutal. Kawhi Leonard game winner. All right, that ends our group play though for first night of the NBA Cup games. Yeah, Bulls are ahead in their group, which is a tough group. So Group C is tough, but the Bulls are doing well. Hopes and dreams, yeah. Outside the top 6, you have what, Alfie and Franz? Yeah, I think so. The biggest mistake of the season predictions might be buying into Zion. I don't blame you, honestly. It just, I think unfortunately the Pelicans just as a squad, they have some issues. Like, Zion, unfortunately, his health is never consistent, but then like the Pelicans as a whole, like they have some issues clearly still. So, I mean, it's crazy not to see Brandon Ingram anymore in that squad. Yeah, it's kind of tough. Yeah, tough overall. All right, y'all. That's gonna do it though for me. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Expect an article from me soon here. Not sure if it's gonna be today or sorry, yeah, I guess now officially today because it's midnight. But Saturday or Sunday or maybe even Monday. But expect an article from me soon here. And yeah, hell of a start. If you have not hit the like button on stream, please do. Helps me out a lot. And hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel like Bulls content. We're gonna be making content all season long. And I appreciate everyone for tuning in for this post-game stream and continuing to support the channel. And thank you for just staying respectful and everything. I sincerely do appreciate that because there's some definitely a lot of things going on online right now, and I appreciate everyone just staying respectful. So I sincerely do appreciate the community staying respectful throughout streams. It does mean a lot, honestly. I know it, you know, it's just online stuff, but it still does mean a lot. So thank you so much for it. Thank you, Charles, for the donations once again. Thank you, Tyler, for sticking around, and everyone else for sticking around. I'll be seeing you guys on Sunday. All right, peace out. See ya, man.